there are rivalries, and then there's Bedlam.
This is going to be a physical football game.
Goes the distance. Touchdown, Oklahoma State.
Oklahoma State against Oklahoma. Two tradition-rich programs bonded by a competition that goes back over 100 years. The outcome of this battle will bring a year of celebration for the victor. Families and friends have divided over colors of orange and crimson. For the likes of outgoing Cowboy senior Zach Robinson and Sooner senior Chris Brown, the importance of winning today is off the pride chart. One of the greatest ongoing stories of college football, Oklahoma State at Oklahoma. The 103rd Bedlam game is now. Are you ready for Bedlam? Welcome to Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium in Norman for Big 12 College Football Saturday presented by Phillips HD. Today, the number 12 Oklahoma State Cowboys meet the Oklahoma Sooners. Just 83 miles separates these two longtime rivals as they clash today here in Norman. Welcome, everyone. Bill Land, Dave Lapham. Glad to have you aboard for Bedlam. Let's talk about the significance. Oklahoma State, it's obvious, a ton at stake for the Cowboys. For OU, is it just Bedlam pride?
Well, that's a big part of it, but it's a division game. It's a conference game. There are recruiting implications. They also want to improve their bowl picture. But for Oklahoma State, if they win, they're still 12th in the nation. They could be Fiesta Bowl bound.
Cowboys have got a veteran quarterback in Zach Robinson. This is his fourth Bedlam game. He's played well, but his team is yet to win one.
Yeah, he's played exceptionally well, and this is his third start. 689 total yards, 5 touchdowns, 4 passing, 1 on the ground. He's taking care of the football, just 1 interception. And he's hung some skins on the wall while at Oklahoma State. He's beaten his coach's records, Mike Gundy's records in a lot of cases. A lot of people know about him a little bit around the country. I think he's still a little bit under the radar. A big game today could put him all over people's faces today.
All right, you take a look for Oklahoma. How do you replace Sam Bradford? Well, Landry Jones has done a pretty good job. Much more success at home, though, than on the road.
And his first Bedlam start is at home, where he's 4-0. And he's thrown 3 times more touchdowns than interceptions. On the road, it's almost 2-1 the wrong way. And I'll tell you, it's going to be very difficult for him because Oklahoma State's defense will be the best defense he has faced here in Norman all year long. The speed of the game will be ratcheted up a notch or two.
There are other game breakers. Keep an eye on DeMarco Murray for Oklahoma and Keith Poston for Oklahoma State. When we return, Darren Horton in our College Football Saturday studio. You're watching Big 12 College Football Saturday presented by Phillips HD. Welcome back to Norman, where the Oklahoma Sooners 6-5, 4-3 in the Big 12. Host Bedlam. It's 12th-ranked Oklahoma State at 9-2, 6-1, as the Sooners come on here, trying to go 7-5 and add a little pride to what's been a tough season. Let's send it down to Jim Knox with a very special guest.
All right, Bill, a magical moment just took place moments ago. Corey Wilson, close to a year ago, was involved in a horrible accident, left him paralyzed from the waist down. Well, he said one of his main goals was to walk one day onto Owen Field, preferably during Bedlam, and that's what took place just moments ago. A huge ovation, along with the Oklahoma seniors, as well as their football team around, cheering Corey on. And with us now is Corey Wilson. You were shooting for this, Corey, and how did it feel with all the inspiration going on between the Sooner players as well as their fans, you walking onto the field?
I mean, I can't even explain it. It's just, I can't compare it to anything else in my life. It's just amazing to have my family out there and to have the Sooner family with me. It's meant a lot. It meant a lot to the hard work that I've been doing for the last couple of months.
Well, congratulations, and we wish you continued success. And Coach Bob Stoops, also a father figure to you, because when you were in the hospital, he visited you just about every morning, brought you breakfast.
Every morning he was there, and sometimes before I even woke up, he was there. So, I mean, especially, with me, I wasn't too much of a big-name player, and he has a high-name coach and everything. Just, it meant a lot for him to take the time to do that for me.
All right, Corey, thank you very much for the time and continued success. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, Bill?
Thanks, Jim. Absolutely incredible story. There wasn't a dry eye in the place, including here in the booth.
I'll tell you what, adversity, Bill, you talk about football games adversity. That young man, Corey Wilson, is overcoming adversity people can't fathom.
No, it's just, you've had a tough day, get out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
Matthew Moreland kicks it off as Oklahoma winning the toss and deferring, and it is down in the end zone, and Oklahoma State will take a 1st and 10 from its own 20-yard line as Zach Robinson, injured and unable to go in the Colorado game, practiced all week. They say he's ready to go. There are the numbers in the season for the senior from Littleton, Colorado, Zach Robinson and the OSU Cowboys.
And Bill, Littleton, Colorado. He didn't play against Colorado. It was senior night, last home game for the seniors, and he could have played, but unselfishly healed up longer to be able to play in the Bedlam game. I mean, that game meant a lot to him being from Colorado, but he wanted to play in this one even more so.
So, 1st and 10 from the 20. Let's see what the Cowboys come out with. And a handoff to Tostin. Tostin gets a couple to about the 23-yard line. Gerald McCoy leads the way with the tackle. Let's take a look at the Phillips HD starting lineup. For Oklahoma State, the star up front is the veteran, Russell Okung, getting his 46th consecutive start. Tostin, the leading Big 12 rusher in conference games after taking over for Kendall Hunter. Hunter is back, but not 100%, but getting better every week. You could see them both in there together sometime today. After a pickup of 2, 2nd and 8. Robinson again out of the gun. Got great protection. Now he breaks down and he carries. Got the 1st down as he slides to near the 33-yard line. Zach Robinson on the carries, averaged 3.2 and scored 4 touchdowns this year. Our Phillips HD Oklahoma defensive line, Jeremy Beal up front. Beal, a first-team all-conference pick last year, leads them in sacks this year. Clayton, Box, and Lewis, the backers.
Foul on the play. Result of the play, 1st down.
Ryan Reynolds is out. That's why Box is getting the start. And Franks, Nelson, and Carter, and Jackson in the secondary. Jackson, their interceptor leader, with 4 on the year for the senior from DeSoto, Texas. You heard the penalty call, and as a result, Oklahoma State with it 1st and 10. And again, the signal's coming from the sideline.
And it was good to see Zach Robinson make such a quick decision to run with the football. And he slid, protected himself, smart. He has to protect his head and his shoulder there.
Little option read here and tosses it. Tostin. Stopped at the 34-yard line by Keenan Clayton. And let's talk keys to victory for the Cowboys, Dave.
Well, what Oklahoma State wants to do, Bill, is play with a lead. They don't want to fall behind on the road in this hostile environment with this noisy crowd. And to play with the lead, they want to be balanced. They've been excellent at running the football and throwing it. Almost 200 yards in each category for years now. They want to be balanced within the running game. Tostin, Hunter, and Zach Robinson. And in the passing game, use the whole field. Wide receivers, tight end, running back. They want to be balanced everywhere.
They lead the Big 12 in rushing, 203 a game, 197 passing. That's the kind of balance Dave's talking about for 400 yards of total offense. Incomplete to Tostin on this play, and now our fearless predictions presented by Phillips HD.
Well, I'll tell you, Gerald McCoy is a game changer inside at defensive tackle. Usually game changers are on the edge as defensive ends. This guy is double teamed every single play, totally disruptive inside. You have to game plan for him.
For more fearless predictions on every college football game, log on to foxsports.com, keyword fearless. 3rd down and 9 for the Pokes on their opening possession at the 34-yard line. Tostin stays in the backfield with Zach Robinson. Robinson evades one tackler and is brought down shy of the 1st down near the 37-yard line. Jeremy Beal and Keenan Clayton there for the stop for this Oklahoma defense that was absolutely riddled by Texas Tech last week.
Yeah, they really were, and the thing was they didn't have enough discipline in the running game. So far today in the early stages, they're very disciplined against the run. They're playing their gap responsibilities very, very well.
So they'll kick it away with Quinn Sharp on to punt. And Broyles is the deep man at the 27. Bursts through and gets about 10 before he is tackled near the 37-yard line. And that'll bring on the Oklahoma offense. And their leader now is a 6'4" redshirt freshman, Landry Jones from Artesia, New Mexico. Jones has thrown for 23 touchdowns, 13 interceptions on the year.
And 12 of those touchdown passes, Bill, Ryan Broyles. Watch for that hookup today. Every one of Ryan Broyles' 12 touchdown receptions, tied for third in the country, have come courtesy Landry Jones.
They get it after a 10-yard return from a 40-yard punt from Sharp, and up the middle, Chris Brown, the senior from Alexander, Louisiana, their leading rusher, 645 yards of the year, gets the carry. Stephen Good starting in place of Trent Williams, who got dinged in practice this week. They lose another big-time senior up front. Brown just carried the football. Broyles, as Dave said, is the key receiver with 12 touchdown receptions, 861 yards receiving on 67 grabs. 2nd and 8 for Oklahoma. Jones rolling out, nearly picked off. Patrick Levine looked like he had his hands on it there, as the Oklahoma State Cowboys vastly improved defensively under first-year coordinator Bill Young. Price, Miller, Burton, and Chinasa, the Phillips HD starting lineup for the Pokes. Their backers are all solid. Booker leads them in tackles. Sexton and Levine flank him, and Parrish Cox, 10 career interceptions, is the leader in that secondary. He'll be playing on Sundays next year.
Oh, yeah.
3rd and 8 now for Oklahoma. Jones. Good protection. Incomplete, and a big-time hit on the intended receivers. Booker delivered the blow, and Booker is suffering as a result of it.
Yeah, he's slow to get up. He got rung, and he doesn't know if he's in Stillwater or Norman right now. He can't get off the field. He can't get off the field. Somebody stay down. Just stay down. That's it. The official takeover. Stay down. Let the medical attention get to him. Right now, he's run pretty well. I mean, Donald Booker is a big-time hitter, and as he came to make the hit, looked like he got the knee to the head a little bit. Looked like the upper leg, as the ball is being advanced by Miller, who's a big receiver. The contact of the leg to Booker's head and neck area stunned him. I mean, he basically, down goes Frazier. He took a shot from George Foreman right there, but he's okay. But he was totally disoriented, and I'll tell you, when that happens to you, it's happened to me. The world starts spinning, and you can't put one foot in front of the other until your head clears a little bit.
Press Way will come on to punt it. He averages 43.9 per kick. They had the rush on. He does get off a dandy, and Cox will let it go, but it doesn't go in the end zone.
And then he pushed it in the end zone, unfortunately.
Yes. Oh, could have been unbelievable field position. A 62-yard punt. We'll be right back with more Bedlam. Big 12 College Football Saturday is presented by Phillips HD. The images that move you the most are what we deliver the best. And brought to you in part by Days Inn, the best value under the sun. And by the new Better Burgers Value Deal, only at Denny's. Let's take a look again at that punt that went into the end zone and how close it was for Oklahoma State operating from the one, Dave.
Yeah, James Winchester, the deep snapper. All he has to do is let it die and down it right there. He tries to fall on top of it, pushes it into the end zone for a touchback. That's 19 yards of field position. That's 2 first downs Oklahoma State doesn't have to generate. Unbelievably sad for Winchester, because all he had to do was stand on his feet and touch it and down it right there.
And for Way, his 16th punt of 50-plus on the year. That Oklahoma defense fired up on this 1st and 10, nothing doing in the 20. Let's join Jim Knox for our freecreditreport.com sideline report.
All right, Bill, moments ago, Zach Robinson on the sideline talking to trainers. He took a couple of tough shots in that last series. You know, I talked to him before the game. He said he doesn't feel 100%, but he's going to never miss this game. Bedlam, it's going to be interesting to see how Zach holds up throughout the game with that bad shoulder, guys.
Yeah, Knoxy, I'm not worried about his first few passes of the game. This is the hit that may have rattled him a little bit as he's going to the ground. There was a flag thrown on that. As he gave himself up going to the ground, he took a shot. And I'm more worried about his 20th throw of the game, his 30th throw of the game. Will he be able to pitch a complete game, or will they have to bring in relief? I'm not worried about the early stages, but as those hits accrue, that's when I'm going to start to get worried with that shoulder.
Freshman Tracy Moore took that last pass for 6 yards. It's 3rd down and 4 now for the Cowboys' second possession. Robinson in trouble. And is brought down again, shy of the first down. Stopped near the 27-yard line as Oklahoma, a defensive group that is allowing just 14.7 points a game, 8th in the nation, but last week got lit up for 41 by Texas Tech in a 41-13 loss. They showed up ready to play today.
They did. They were embarrassed last week, Bill. And Brent Venables and head coach Bob Stoops feels like they're going to play really hard today. And good news for Brent Venables, they're getting pressure with a 4-man rush and dropping 7 into coverage.
Quinn Sharp with the punt. Bounces right to Broyles. 40, 45, 50. Broyles, watch out! To the 40. Broyles, 25.
Wow.
Knocked out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. Ryan Broyles, the game breaker.
This is what Broyles is all about. When you kick a low line drive, no hang time punt, it's going to come right back in your feet. Does a good in your face. Good job of fielding a low snap at the feet. Excellent job right there of handling it. But then all of a sudden, because of the low punt, no hang time, Broyles is right back at you before you can respond, and he gives his offense a very short field with which to operate.
59 yards on the punt return, his season's best. He averages 12.4. His previous best was 35. Ryan Broyles, a sophomore from right here in Norman, making an impact. These games, special teams are always huge. Let's see if OU takes advantage. First and goal from the 7. Jones nearly bobbled away this high snap, and he's brought down for loss. Fumble the ball. Cowboys look like they pounced on it. They
did. Boy, there's still a tug-of-war going on down there. Strong hands, wrists, forearms, come up with the football. Who's got it last? And down at the bottom of the pile, coming away is Patrick Levine, it looks like.
Senior out of Houston, Texas, with 5 interceptions on the year, and comes up with a fumble recovery here. Huge momentum sweep.
Well, it was a broken play because of the high snap being bobbled, and at that point, Landry Jones should have run with the ball where the play was designed. Instead, he tries to take it outside, and he gets gang tackled, and is he down? They may review that as the right knee down before the ball comes out. That one may be looked at again.
The previous play is under further review.
Landry Jones's right knee was on the ground. The ball was being ripped. Did he still have full possession before the ball was ripped out of there when his right knee touched down on the ground? If so, a huge break for Oklahoma. But on the broken play, because of the high snap, Landry Jones just run the ball up the middle. Watch the right knee. Knee down, still has possession. Is he started to lose possession? That's the question. When did he start to lose possession of the football? When the knee hit the ground. Okay, watch right here. Watch the right knee. Down. Football starting to be ripped out. It's a bang-bang call. The official, remember, on the field, the importance is the call on the field. It's ruled fumble, immediate recovery by Oklahoma State. Is there enough visual evidence to overturn the call on the field? It is bang-bang. I'm not sure they overturn it either way. Whichever way the call would have been made, it was that close.
And one of the things that the replay officials are taught is to piece together plays like that. You saw it from one angle to where you can say, all right, where's the ball coming out? Then you see from the other angle, where does the knee touch, knowing what you've already seen.
Right.
But you get the key point again, Dave, that we need to remind people that, first of all, every play is being reviewed. If they need more time, they stop it like they do here. But it's got to be overwhelming evidence to overturn that call that was made.
Yeah, and what a huge, huge play. Is the punt return going to be nullified by takeaway or not? Landry Jones is hoping that they reverse this, give the ball to Oklahoma. Again, okay, right knee, down. Football, does he have possession? It's starting to be ripped out of there. Is the ball moving as he's starting to lose control of the ball before that knee hits the ground? I mean, we're watching it in slow motion. The official has to make an immediate call. And really, if there's a fumble and the opposing defense makes an immediate recovery, they're basically taught to rule fumble, and then it will be overturned in replay. And that's the mechanics.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. First down.
The mechanics were perfect. Not enough visual evidence to overturn it. Good job by the officiating crew on the field and in the replay booth. And Oklahoma State nullifies the big field position swing, courtesy of punt return by Broyles, by an immediate takeaway. And really, Oklahoma self-destructed, Bill, with the high snap. I mean, that put the play in jeopardy from where it go.
Now, 2 big plays here. Now, it basically comes back to original field position type. First attempt from the 23 for Oklahoma State. And the handoff up the middle is Hunter. And loose football again. Ryan Jackson in smothering on the play, and Oklahoma State maintaining possession. Kendall Hunter's first carry for the junior out of Tyler, Texas.
Kendall Hunter is more of a make-you-miss guy. The ball's ripped out of there by Jackson. He's rolled, I guess, forward progress and stuff. It doesn't matter. It's recovered by Oklahoma State anyway. It would have made no difference.
Throwing it deep, and a flag is thrown. We'll sort it out here. Jackson covering.
Yeah, Jackson just ran Antiem over.
Pass interference, defense, number 2. 15-yard penalty. First down.
As he's pressing Antiem to the sideline and using the sideline as his 12th defender, Jackson just runs him over. Antiem goes to the turf. Easy call for pass interference, 15-yard penalty.
One of the many problems for the Sooners, number one, of course, has been injuries. But penalties, 8 for 80 yards is what they've been averaging. And many have been ones that the coaching staff say, hey, those are correctable. Sometimes it's just a lack of discipline or lack of focus. Maybe not the story on that situation, but penalties have really hurt this Oklahoma team throughout the year. So 1st and 10, and they throw it as Robinson goes out to the wing. Another time it's loose, and Oklahoma State, I think, has recovered. No, Oklahoma football as the Sooners come up with it. Quentin Carter, I believe, with the recovery. Nelson was also in on the play, number 3, Jonathan Nelson.
Well, I'll tell you, ball security is a must today because every defensive player is reaching in there and ripping at the football. You see, rip, get the arm in there and rip it out. And that's exactly what Franks does. Rips it out of there, then falling on top of the football. Jonathan Nelson trying to make an effort at it, and then it's recovered eventually by Carter, the safety, as you described, Bill. I mean, you're going to have to hold on to that football with 2 hands because everybody's gripping and ripping. Both defenses are trying to pull it out of there.
The previous play is under further review.
Replay officials are getting a workout today. The receiver was Justin Blackman on the play. There's Blackman. Let's take a look again.
Where's the left knee? Is the left knee down before the ball comes out? Same situation. It's bang, bang again. Now, are they going to call on the field again? Rule fumble and a recovery by Oklahoma. So that's the mechanics. Now, because it was recovered by Oklahoma, is this going to be overturned or not? Both knees down. Is the ball out of there, or is Franks pulling it out after both knees are down? And it's another bang-bang call. Justin Blackman, was he down before the ball was raked out of his hands? Oklahoma, do they have short field back again, or does Oklahoma State retain possession? And the way this game's being played, the replay officials are going to have a workout today. I mean, it's being, again, we're going slow motion freeze frame. It's bang, bang. It is immediate. Okay, the tackle, rip, because you have full possession, or is it starting to curl out of there? That's a tough one to call again. Now, do you overturn? Is there enough evidence to overturn what was called in the field by the crew that was in position? And Matt, remember now, they're doing it in full speed. I mean, regular speed. They're making calls that are so tough to make, and they're making the best call they can make down the field. It is tough.
I mean, both of those have been so close.
Yeah.
I just don't think you can argue with either way if they do overturn it or if they keep it, because
the thing you have to do, Bill, is hold on to the ball with 2 hands and not give it up to the officials to make a decision on it. Ball security, that's what today's Bedlam game is all about. You can't be spitting the bit and giving the pig up like that.
No, and particularly in games like this, everybody is so jacked to start with, especially, and turnovers so many times are the difference.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the key in rivalry games, hold on to the football. Who maintains possession? Who avoids the big mistake and makes the big play? And already we've seen potentially multiple big mistakes in terms of turnovers in the early stages. But boy, these guys geeked up to play. Absolutely.
And 8:44 remaining here in the first quarter as Mike Gundy, who is looking for his first victory as a head coach over these Oklahoma Sooners, and Bob Stoops, of course, in his 11th year on the other side for the University of Oklahoma. And the only 2 losses here during the Stoops era,
right.
TCU, the last one, they've won 29 since here at home, since the loss to the Horned Frogs. and the 0-1 game in Bedlam to Oklahoma State.
29 straight, 49 out of 50, 65-2. Bob Stoops at home. And there you see his overall record in 11 seasons, 8-2 against Oklahoma State overall. And this one is a tough one because they are taking a lot of looks at this one to try to determine the call to make. I mean, this has taken some time. It's a tough decision. Has a major impact on the football game. Remember, the call on the field is important.
All right, you're making the call. What do you say? I thought he was down.
I thought he was down as well. It looked like he had both knees down just before the ball was being ripped out of there. But earlier, you could have claimed he was that the opposite was the same as well, and they ruled this. The call on the field stood.
See what the judges
After further
say.
review, the ruling is the runner was down prior to the fumble.
Good call.
The ball is OSU on the 46-yard line. First down.
Where do I cash my ticket?
It wasn't one knee. It was both knees. Yeah, both knees were down, and he did have ball security, and it was ripped out. The ball's not moving yet. Both knees are down, and then it's ripped out of there. They took their time. Again, the operation on the field was correct. The operation in the replay booth was correct. That's why you have replay. I mean, two tight calls initially in this football game, and both of them go Oklahoma State's way.
So it will be, it's going to be second or first down. Scoreboard showing first and 10 at the 46. And now they're having some discussion about that.
Bob Stoops is saying that was second down, not first down.
Yeah, and
The down and distance.
yeah, they got to review the down and distance. Now they understand whose ball it is.
They have to
now
look.
they go back and look and say, all right, where was he ruled down? And mark the football there.
Yeah, it's going to be second and less than 10, I think. I mean, he made the catch in the perimeter. They have to go back and determine where the chains were set initially. Where should the chain gang set the first 10? Where was the ball when he was ruled down, and what's the down and distance?
The official stats put down a 3-yard gain.
Should be second and 7.
Should be second and 7. And the look on the official's face kind of tells the story like, hey, I just want to ref this game. I don't want to be a headset all day. And yet you obviously want to get it right. And unfortunately, it's taken forever to get through the first quarter.
Tom Walker's the referee, and Tom Walker's thinking to himself, this is going to be a long day.
It is second down and 7 on the 46-yard line. Did not make the line to gain.
Thank you, Tom Walker. So
Second
it was
and
a
7.
first and 10 play, and
At the 46-yard line, so the chain should be set at the 44.5, 43.5. They got to move those back. There they go. They're moving back to the 43.5-yard line, and it's second and 7, and I think we're going to be okay.
all right, a little football again. Hey, everybody, hang on to the ball, huh?
Exactly. Ball security is a must today.
Toast in the carry. He does hang on to the 50, and let's check in for Phillips HD Game Break. Here's Darren Horton.
Still on Tobacco Road in Raleigh, number 24 Carolina taking on NC State. Second quarter, TJ Yates across the field, 35 yards. Jeremy Boyd. Carolina with a 17-7 lead right now in the second. Bill.
Thank you, Darren. What a great tradition of college football with all the rivalries all across the country. And the Turkey Day business with Texas A&M out of the Big 12, Alabama, Auburn yesterday, West Virginia and Pitt, NC State. Here, a penalty has advanced it to a first and 10 from the 45 of Oklahoma.
It's a big penalty. Bob Stoops is incredulous.
There's a delay of game on the defense was the call as Zach Robinson scatters and gets out of bounds on the Cowboys sideline near midfield. And Adrian Taylor putting the pressure on him, the junior out of Mansfield, Texas, for the Oklahoma Sooners.
And the Oklahoma defense, their role right now is to rise up and stop this and not give Oklahoma State any points. Right now, though, Oklahoma State is enjoying worst-case scenario, pinning Oklahoma back inside their own 10-yard line. They reset the ball one more time at the 49.
So it is 2nd down and 14. And to have you aboard here on Big 12 College Football Saturday, presented by Phillips HD. Sooners and Cowboys zip, trying to get something going with the Cowboys right now. Nothing doing on that pass play, though, as Jonathan Nelson smothers Josh Cooper, the receiver. Cooper coming in with 14 grabs for 191 yards and a touchdown.
Well, that's like a run play. It's like a long lateral, that alley screen. Texas Tech executed it so well last week against Oklahoma, but it is a staple of Texas Tech's offense. Oklahoma State doesn't run it as regularly as Texas Tech does in terms of timing and rhythm.
Robinson, a career 62% pass completion rate coming in here today. He's got his team in a passing situation here. It's 3rd and 12 from the 47 of the Sooners. Robinson, great protection, going deep and incomplete. Intended for Justin Blackman, the redshirt freshman from Ardmore, Oklahoma. Brian Jackson in the coverage there. Carter also in the vicinity.
Brian Jackson doing a much better job of using the sideline as a 12th defender and pressing him to the sideline. Before, on the penalty that he had, he ran the receiver over. This time he just goes airborne, contested catch, presses the receiver to the sideline. Nice effort by Jackson.
Quinn Sharp stands on his own 39. Ryan Broyles deep for the return. Already taken 159 yards. Signals for the fair catch. He goes into the end zone and will be a touchback after a 47-yard punt. We'll be right back here in Norman. Does anybody enjoy himself more than Barry Switzer with the crowd here in Norman? American Airlines presents this flashback of the Bedlam game in 2001 here in Norman. Oklahoma number 3 in the BCS standings. And came in Oklahoma State with just 3 wins. Time's running out in the 4th quarter. Sooners leading by 4. Freshman quarterback Josh Fields connects a 15-yarder to Rashawn Woods. 31 yards to Terrence Davis Bryant. With 1:36 remaining, he finds Rashawn Woods. 14 yards, the winning score. Cowboys snap the Sooners' 19-game home winning streak and kept them out of the Big 12 title picture. Rashawn Woods, 8 catches, to become Oklahoma State's single-season leader in receptions. Pokes win it 16-13.
They saw winning head coach Les Miles now at LSU.
And won a national title and catching heat. That's the day of college football, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's what have you done for me lately, as Terrence Anderson, the tackler on this play, as Oklahoma starting now 2nd and 11. Actually a loss on the play at the 19-yard line. Starting from the 20, following the punt into the end zone. Second and 11 for the 19. Landry Jones looking across the middle and is complete to Miller. Fumble again. Cowboys recover. And Oklahoma State will have it at the 28-yard line now as Antoine Lucien.
Jeremiah Price came up with the football. I think he gets the recovery.
Yeah, I think Lucien may have caused it. Let's see.
But again, you talk about hitting. Putting your helmet right on the football. Throws a strike. Catches the football. Got to secure it. Got to put it away. And Miller gets blown up. Price falls on the football.
Now Lucien with a hit. Price with a recovery. And now, who's going to take advantage of one of these turnovers, Dave? That's the big question.
Now, did Dwan Miller have full control of the football before he fumbled it? That's going to be reviewed. That's going to be reviewed. Dwan Miller.
Why'd you have to say that?
Did he have full control of the football before? Did he tuck it away with full possession before he was hit? And that's what they're looking at now. Amazing. Remember, as Bill said earlier, every single play in college football gets reviewed. Does he have it? Does he ever have possession? That's questionable. I mean, I'm not sure he ever has it. He just starts to tuck it away. Could be ruled incompletion. Call on the field, completion, fumble. This one may be overturned. Ball's there. Is he controlling it? He looks like he's struggling with it. Miller loses control of it. Does he have it? And is it put away? And is he making a football move? And then the strike and the fumble. Boy, another tough call for the replay officials.
All I can say is they turned the lights on early today, even though it's a beautiful sunny day. We may need the lights the way this one is going here.
You know, I noticed something in the offensive line, Bill, as I was looking at that snap, though. Corey Brandon was at left tackle, And at the right tackle position was the dual player.
Was that Eric Mensick?
Mensick. He'll play 88 when he's playing tight end, 69 when he's playing tackle. Mensick was lined up at right tackle, and at the left tackle position was Corey Brandon. So they're trying to find the right mix and match up front with the offensive line. Remember, they've already lost 3 offensive linemen for the season due to injury. Now they lose arguably their best offensive lineman. Trent Williams got dinged up on Tuesday's practice. So you lose 4/5 of your offensive line. You're trying to shuffle and play musical chairs. The last game of the regular season, when you're talking the last game, you still don't have a solid rotation due to injury. I don't care who you are, that's going to crush your game plan.
This is the 4th stoppage we've had for the replay situation, and it's been necessary. It's just weird that it would happen so much. There's only been 1 actual turnover so far, pending what happens here. Well, those injuries, though, when you lose Gresham, and then Bradford and Eldridge and Hayburn and Reynolds and Austin English and on it goes, in some sense, 6 and 5 is a pretty good year, especially when you look at their first 4 losses were by a combined 12 points.
There's Brody Eldridge with his neck injury. He's got the big neck brace on, and you could make an argument for him for MVP. He was playing tight end well, left guard, center, play anywhere. I mean, he's all football player. You lose him, that's a huge, huge factor. And here's all the injuries, and when you lose people of that caliber, I mean, basically the foundation of what you were going to be isn't the same. You know,
and captains, leadership.
Exactly. Your big guy presence is gone. You know, offensively, you have to go to more spread. I mean, Jermaine Gresham, he was going to be a factor for you in the red zone. He was going to be a factor for you setting the edge in the running game. He was going to be a factor controlling between the hash marks. You lose him, you lose Sam Bradford, you're in trouble.
And LePac today, the 10th different starter on the O-line this season. Let's send it down to Jim Knox.
Yeah, and we found that out before the game. Coach Stoops was out on the field, and he waved me, come over. I said, what's going on, Coach? He said, you're not going to believe this, but Trent Williams will not be playing today. I go, you got to be kidding. He goes, the list continues to grow, but, you know, Trent Williams injured in practice earlier this week. They try to give him a go, but he's sitting his final senior game out today.
Yeah, and obviously he doesn't want to do that, so the injury is obviously severe.
Tom Walker.
After further review, the ruling is incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and 11 on the 19-yard line. Please put 6:34 on the play clock. 6:34.
And I agree with that as well. I think that was a proper call. Tough call for the official to make on the field. Does he have full possession? Enforced fumble? Replay? No, he never really had possession as he's trying to tuck it away. And it's an incompletion, not a fumble. Loss of possession, but again, secure the football.
So Oklahoma, the big crowd here, of course, roaring in approval. And the Sooners bring DeMarco Murray on in the running back position with Landry Jones. He's to the right of Jones here. And it is a 3rd down and 11 from the 19. Rotary, the man in motion, sets up to the right. Here's Jones. Across the middle, and it is incomplete, or is it? Yeah, you're down. Please. Martin covering on the play. You see ready there to scoop things up with Donald Booker.
Boy, and Broyles very sure-handed normally, and the ball is punched out of there. Boy, that one.
That's close.
That's close. It is. I mean, does he have possession? Is he trying to turn and pull away? They rule incomplete. Nice little tomahawk chop to punch the ball out of there. I mean, both defenses are playing so well with their hands. Active hands ripping the ball out of there all day.
You see the view that Tress Way has as he hits this punt and takes an Oklahoma roll inside the 10-yard line. And Oklahoma State will be pinned back near the 7. Wow. Back and forth we go, but no score. 75-yard punt. Tonight's game is being shown on AFN, the American Forces Network, broadcasting the United States Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. Welcome. And a big thank you from the OSU coaching staff led by Mike Gundy.
Coach Gundy at Oklahoma State is very excited about the opportunity to play in front of our armed forces. We have take a lot of pride and have a lot of respect for what the men and women are doing overseas and fighting for our country so we can have freedom and play college football and live an everyday life. And just wanted you to know how much respect we have for you and that we hope you'll stay safe and you'll get to come home as soon as possible. We appreciate everything you do and enjoy the game. If there's any Cowboy fans out there, go Pokes.
Thank you, Mike, and we certainly echo the thoughts and our thoughts and prayers are always with our troops, and just one big thank you from everybody here. Oklahoma State, 1st and 10 from its own 7-yard line now. Just trying to get a little breathing room as Tostin gets the carry. Tostin averaging 5.5 per carry. And in Big 12 conference play, he is the leading rusher over Thomas of Kansas State, 121 per game. First down marker is brought to you by Overstock.com. Your entire order ships to just $2.95 at Overstock.com. Overstock.com at home with and another loose one.
Can't even make a center quarterback exchange. Fumbles the snap.
I mean, I think we both thought this was going to be a low-scoring game, but it's a beautiful day. Weather is nice. It's just incredible how many loose balls there have been, snaps, fumbles.
And they've taken a snap a million times, Andrew Lewis and Zach Robinson. Andrew Lewis is reaching to his right. That shrinks the space for the exchange. But Andrew Lewis and Zach Robinson have done that many, many times and realized the adjustment that has to be made, put it on the ground.
And it's now 3rd and 8 from the 9 for Oklahoma State. And the handoff. Not much doing as they go up the middle to Tostin, and Tostin stopped near the 13-yard line. Austin Box leading the way on the tackling side for Oklahoma. Box, a sophomore out of Enid, Oklahoma, 6'2", 220.
Well, the way this game is unfolding, the kicking game, special teams are going to be all important. Who dictates field position? Who makes the big play in special teams? Who avoids all the mistakes in special teams? Going to be massive.
And the punt by Quinn Sharp. Broyles, great field position, fair catching it at the 46-yard line of the Sooners. And for Phillips HD game break, let's go to Darren Horton.
In Fort Worth, number 4, TCU can almost taste perfection. The Horned Frogs defense strikes first, the high snap. Victor James of New Mexico knocks it through the end zone. 2-zip, number 4 with the early lead. Bill?
All right, thank you very much, Darren. Boy, talk about an interested observer this weekend. TCU on the outside looking in, hoping for an Alabama loss, a Texas loss, and somebody above them, Florida today, to open the window so they can get into the BCS title game. And flag thrown here.
Looked like Oklahoma State might have been a little early.
Offsides, defense, nose guard, 5-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
And you hate to see these because the ball's right under your smush. All you have to do is look down. You know, when the ball moves, you move. Trying to get a jump, you know, and it comes back and is painful because now, as a result of that penalty on Miller, 1st and 5.
So 1st and 5 at midfield now for Landry Jones. He gives to Brown. Brown hit hard. Let's take a look at our keys as we continue to try to monitor this back and forth crazy first half. How about for Oklahoma?
Well, early success, and there really hasn't been much. There's been early complications and turnovers and reverse turnovers. Want to energize the crowd. The crowd's energized. 3rd down is the big issue, though. Against Texas Tech, they only converted 29% of the time. Tech converted 45%. They want to reverse that today.
Broyles on the completion. Knocked out of bounds on the Sooners sideline at the 32. That will move the chains as Martin makes the stop.
Well, a young quarterback like Landry Jones falls in love with somebody and gets that relationship going with a receiver that he can count on, and Broyles is the guy.
Up tempo, across the middle, and it is incomplete. Trying to connect with Miller once again. Down near the 5-yard line, Parrish Cox back on the defense.
Miller's the big body wide receiver that's starting to make a statement here. 6'4", 225-pounder. Tried to make the contested catch. That's confidence. Throwing the ball into double coverage, not the best advice to do, but he had confidence in Miller.
That completion to Broyles finally gave Oklahoma positive yards. Oklahoma State has 40 yards of offense here, and now the Sooners starting to get a little bit more confident as the completion for 14 yards on the play.
Battery, the big tight end, moving the chains.
Incomplete here. All right, let's take a look at our fearless predictions presented by Phillips HD.
Well, Derek Burton for the Oklahoma State Cowboys, the only defensive starter from the state of Oklahoma. That's amazing. 9 of the 11 starters are seniors. He's the only one from the state of Oklahoma.
Both two schools draw deep in Texas for many of their players. Broyles slipped after the reception. Cox and crew are right there to meet him.
Let's take a look at that. 9 of the 44 starters today, only 9 come from the state of Oklahoma.
Landry Jones incomplete. The near sideline again looking for Miller. And Terrence Anderson, senior from Aldine, Texas, there as they're getting those numbers.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
It's shocking, really. Oklahoma State, 3 on offense, 1 on defense. Oklahoma, 2 and 3.
The coaches were telling us that, all right, do they get Bedlam? Well, yeah, because a lot of those players are from Texas. They've competed against each other in high school. They're just at different schools now in a different state. So
sure,
the enthusiasm is still there.
And all it takes is one Bedlam for you to understand what Bedlam's all about.
Here's Patrick O'Hara, the latest kicker for OU, has been successful. And the kick from 35,
pushed
no
it.
good. No good for Patrick O'Hara, the sophomore from Topeka, Kansas, who is 3 for 3. His best, a 47-yarder last week against Texas Tech.
Snap, hold, and kick, all important. Good snap, good hold. Just pushes it out there, pushes it out right, and he knew right away that he didn't hit it cleanly. Sinks the head, trying to shake it off already. You have to have amnesia. You can't let one bad kick turn into 2. You have to forget about it.
Inconsistency in the kicking game, another reason for the Oklahoma subpar season. There's been a lot of factors that have caused OU from the year after competing for a national championship to trying to stay above 500 to finish the regular season here. Robinson.
Horse collar?
Brought down at the 15. Didn't see a flag as Alexander, I think, and Beal there. Let's send it down to Jim Knox. It's a little breezy down there.
Yeah, it is, Bill. Winds up to 15 miles an hour. I did talk to both kickers before the game. They said each kick is different. Every time the ball leaves their foot, it could go a different way. Could come down to the wire today, guys. The wind will definitely be a factor.
Cooper is stopped in this play. Thank you, Jim. Nelson, the tackle for Oklahoma. And
you know, as you look up the goalpost, the top of the goalpost, you can see the flags on the top of the goalpost gusting, and the goalposts themselves moving a little bit. I mean, there's a significant breeze there. It's gonna play havoc on punts when you're kicking into the wind. We're supposed to having it at your back, both punts and field goals. And in a low-scoring game like this, we talked about kicking game could be monumental.
OSU 42% on third down conversions on the year. Third in the Big 12, a 3rd and 15 here. Robinson, the option, Tostin. Way short, across the 20 to the 21-yard line. And Keith Tostin is brought down there. And the Cowboys will kick it away with 1:37 and counting in the first quarter.
So far, Oklahoma State is playing it very close to the vest. They don't want to take any more chances with ball security. Running quite a bit of option to limit the number of times that Brent Venables tries to blitz. That's the big equalizer for the blitz.
Sharp again. Low kick. The bounce, and Broyles lets it go. Nearly hit his teammate running down. And 52-yarder that time, and Oklahoma State will get it or their Oklahoma will get it now on the 29-yard line. Every athlete has one game they wish they could do over. Replay, a new documentary series, reunites former teammates, giving them the chance to replay the biggest game of their lives. Replay, fueled by Gatorade, premieres tomorrow.
The reason the low-line drive kicks are being executed by Oklahoma State is they're kicking into that wind. If you kick it up into the wind, it could boomerang on you a little bit, or just you'll get no distance on your punt. They're going with the low-line drive directional kick to try to get some yards.
Pass is complete to Broyles.
Face mask.
35, and there comes the flag at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, definitely grabbed the grill there, and Sexton got a pretty good hand on it and pulled.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 20. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Lower body hit is made, then Sexton right there grabs the grill. Let's go. But it's obvious, right in full view of the officials, and the big toss of the flag came in from center field. There it is.
So with 1:04 to go in the first quarter, Oklahoma at midfield now after that penalty by Sexton. OSU, somebody jumped there. Landry Jones going down the sideline, incomplete, intended for Broyles. Cox on the coverage.
They got Miller again. Miller jumped in the neutral zone, and he's right by the football. Don't listen to the
5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
Don't listen to the quarterback. Watch the football. Don't move until the football moves. Quarterback, Landry Jones has him on a hard count, and he's got him jumping. He's got him on a line right now. He's giving him the hard count, non-rhythmic, and on that hard rhythm, he's getting him to jump.
First and 5, and now bringing it around. Broyles hit hard, scrambled out of there, looking for every yard he can get, as Oklahoma, knowing that Broyles is their primary game breaker, trying to get it to him in a variety of ways.
Well, Landry Jones becomes the perimeter guard. Landry Jones, the quarterback, out there trying to block and separate. He's taking on a defensive lineman, but man, that's just a nice hit out there in space. That's just sure tackling. Great responsibility of all defensive players by Oklahoma State.
Andrew McGee making the stop that time. 2nd and 2 for the Sooners. Jones across the middle, complete, 15 down to the 13-yard line. Reynolds coming up with a grab that time for Oklahoma.
Oklahoma State was offside.
Decline. Defense. Penalties decline. Goal to play. First down.
And Donald Booker on a blitz coming off the edge, and he anticipated the snap count and jumped too early. He was in the neutral zone. The quarter ends with Oklahoma at the 13-yard line. Penalties, turnovers, replays. What a first quarter.
Jazz Reynolds on the reception. Oklahoma knocking on the door now in a wacky first quarter. You're watching Big 12 College Football Saturday, presented by Phillips HD. No score in Bedlam, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Welcome back to Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Right now, Land Rover presents the current BCS standings. Florida going against Florida State today. Alabama narrowly survived against Auburn. Texas, a wild one against A&M, and TCU underway with a 2-0 score. Great action in the BCS Land Rover Top 10. Fans, Land Rover wants to send you to the college football bowl game of your choice. Go to LandRoverUSA.com to register for the Road to the Bowl sweepstakes today. We'll hustle on that. So second quarter starts here. Oklahoma, 1st and 10 from the 13. Brown at the 10, the 5, and out of bounds. Going to mark it near the 6-yard line. Donald Booker forcing him out on the play.
Well, you got to figure that either Chris Brown or DeMarco Murray are going to handle the football for the first time in Oklahoma history. They have 2 players playing together that have scored over 40 touchdowns. 45 touchdowns for Chris Brown, 42 for DeMarco Murray. So one of them could probably tote the mail one more time here, you would think.
You play the percentages of your OSU, you got to believe that. They go with the veterans. 2nd and 3. Landry Jones fumbles the football. Brown
Oklahoma's got it back.
wrestling with it.
I think Oklahoma got it back.
Yes. Sooners recover. Jamie Blatnick was in on the play for Oklahoma State, the sophomore from Salina, Texas.
Chris Brown recovers the football, makes a great hustle move in the pile to pull the ball away. Landry Jones has to understand the clock on the back of his head has to start to tick. You have to put that ball away. And man, just a great effort out fighting Levine for the football was Chris Brown. Now they're still in position to score points, almost a defensive takeaway in the red zone.
Fourth fumble of the day, 2 for each team as we start the second quarter. 3rd and 4 from the 7, incomplete. Across the middle that time. Oklahoma, this is their 3rd red zone trip. The previous 2, a missed field goal and a Jones fumble. And now they come bound for what they would appear to be another field goal attempt.
And pretty good job by Oklahoma State in coverage in the red zone. The field compresses, not many windows to take advantage of there. Bill Young doing a good job of mixing up rushing 3, dropping 8, rushing 5, dropping 6. Doing a good job of confusing Landry Jones, disguising those blitzes.
O'Hara, who missed earlier, tries a 24-yarder here. This kick is good. And Oklahoma takes the lead in Bedlam. 13:45 to go, second quarter. We'll be right back. Bedlam football from Norman. Oklahoma State and Oklahoma Sooners lead at 3-0. And our DirecTV game summary, you see the Oklahoma State Cowboys just 41 yards on their 5 possessions. Oklahoma's missed opportunities as well, but they do have the lead.
They do have the lead. They've had red zone possibilities. They missed a field goal. They made one. How big is not having Jermaine Gresham when you're in the red zone for Oklahoma? What a huge red zone weapon they lost when they lost Gresham before the season even started. And they lost Sam Bradford. Then it went on and on and on. That makes your red zone offense a little different.
Matthew Moreland with the kickoff. And Cox from about the 2. And Oklahoma comes up with the tackle on Cox. Over progress around the 13 for Phillips HD game break. Let's go to Darren Horton.
Bill, in Hattiesburg, one of the best catches of the year. Ole Miss's Jevin Sneed finds Shea Hodge. How does he catch this ball? Number 25, Ole Miss with a 13-10 lead at the break. Bill?
All right, thank you very much, Darren. A 67-yard kick, a 12-yard return. And Oklahoma State needs to establish something. This is the 12th ranked team in the country. And Oklahoma has lived up to its old defensive reputation here today as Kendall Hunter tries to give him a burst, and he does get out to the 20-yard line. And Hunter brought down by Austin Box.
And once again, running the option to the short side of the field, this time the Cowboys. And it makes play a little bit more conventionally defensively. You don't want to blitz very much when they're running the option as many times as they have percentage-wise in their play calling.
Hunter last year led the Big 12 in rushing, 1,555 yards, had 18 for 84 against Oklahoma. Had the ankle injury early this year, missed 5 games. We'll see if he's any more of a factor here today. Got 7 on that carry. It's 2nd down and 3. And big hole for Tostin. Tostin nearly fumbled the football.
Jeez.
He is tackled at the 40-yard line by Dominique Franks.
Boy, a big fan of Tostin. Where would the Cowboys be without Tostin? I mean, he's a downhill runner, and that's his style. And he did lose the football, took it for 2 and it's bounced right back up to him. But that's the 5th time the ball has been on the ground. 3 now for Oklahoma State, twice for Oklahoma. And miraculously, only 1 fumble has been lost.
Almost could have been called for double dribble.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, another sport. Cooper in motion. 1st and 10 for the Pokes. Zach Robinson in trouble and throws the football away. Frank Alexander putting the pressure on him, the sophomore out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And Tostin, the senior out of Angleton, Texas. The numbers are pretty amazing for a guy that basically was Hunter's backup.
Yeah, he had a 49-yard reception against Colorado last week and then a 45-yard burst, touchdown run up the gut. So 2 plays, almost a football field right there, 2 touchdowns. He was monumental in that tight victory over Colorado last Thursday night.
His career total 2,637 coming in here today. He did run for 686 yards and 9 touchdowns last year. Coming in with 1130 overall this season. And not much happening here as the tackle made at the 40 on Hunter. Clayton making the stop, and with more on Kendall Hunter, here's Jim Knox.
You can clearly see, guys, that Kendall Hunter is progressively getting better with that foot injury. I talked to him before the game. He says he's not quite 100%, but he is getting a lot better. I asked him, who's the guys you guys like to watch? You know, who do you like to watch? Who do you like to emulate? He said, out of all people, Adrian Peterson. He watches tape of Adrian before games.
Yeah, he's got a little different running style than Adrian Peterson. Adrian Peterson's running style is unique to him, that's for sure. But, you know, Hunter is a guy, he's a thoroughbred. He's a make-you-miss guy. When he's nicked up a little bit, he's not right.
Robinson. Incomplete at the 43-yard line, trying to hook up with Blackman, and Jackson back there covering for the Sooners.
Blackman thought Jackson came over his back to make the play on the football. Let's see if he's got a legitimate argument. There's the ball. The ball's a little bit behind. Now that the ball's behind him, so I think that's a good defensive play by Jackson, a good call or a good non-call by the official.
Low snap, and then Sharp recovers and boots it away. And out of bounds near the 31-yard line. We'll sort it out when we come back with Oklahoma. A 3-0 lead, 11:24 to play in the half. Big 12 College Football Saturday is presented by Philips HD. The images that move you the most are what we deliver the best. And brought to you in part by FreeCreditReport.com. Stay on top of your credit score and credit report at FreeCreditReport.com. And the first down marker is brought to you by Overstock.com. Your entire order ships for just $2.95 at Overstock.com. Overstock.com, at home with the O. Beautiful day here in Norman for Bedlam football. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State. Neither team having much luck hanging onto the ball, though.
No, I'll tell you, both defenses are being very active with their hands. They're reaching in there and ripping it out. And it was coached during the week. You know, turnovers are going to be big in this football game. You have to secure it. You have to secure it with two hands. Neither team doing that very well.
5 fumbles today. Oklahoma 3-0 lead. Jones complete across the middle to the 40-yard line as Broyles comes up with the reception today. First down markers brought to you by Overstock.com. Save up to 70% off brand names every day at Overstock.com, at home with the O. Booker made the tackle on that last play. Oklahoma second down here. Landry Jones escapes one defender and unloads it on the sideline.
I'll tell you, both defenses are playing so well. And I think both defenses are filing preliminary papers against their respective offenses for lack of support. I mean, there's nothing going on right now. Oklahoma State 0 for 6 on third down. Oklahoma 0 for 4. A combined 0 for 10. There's Bill Young, the new defensive coordinator for Oklahoma State, that has turned that defense around, changed the culture. Instead of saying, let's not talk about how bad we were, let's talk about how good we're going to be. Neither team able to move the football much, as you can see.
Oklahoma State coming in number 31 nationally in total defense, allowing just 326 per game. And this third down is complete. Broyles takes it and dives across the 15-yard line. So Oklahoma, with a 3-0 lead, gets the big play on third down, and Antoine Lucian made the tackle.
Well, Ryan Broyles is Landry Jones' go-to guy, and a little bit of an assignment error in coverage. Safety over the top is late getting there, doesn't give the proper support. Lucian and Broyles makes him pay. He ran past the corner in the slot uncontested.
46-yard reception sets up a 1st and 10 at the 13 of the Cowboys for Landry Jones and Oklahoma. And on the run, Murray diving for the end zone.
Same touchdown.
Touchdown Sooners. DeMarco Murray, his 6th touchdown of the year on the ground.
In his 43rd career touchdown. He has 43. Chris Brown has 45. Let's see, he goes airborne. Stay in bounds. Yes, he does. Airborne. Does the ball. He gets the ball inside the pylon, the official's opinion, before he crosses the goal line. I wonder if that's going to be reviewed. That one looks like it may be looked at again. I'm not sure. That one's dicey. That
The
one's
previous play
dicey.
is under further review.
Merritt again goes airborne. Where's the football? He's hit as he goes airborne. He looks like he's outside of the pylon well before crosses the goal line. I think they'll mark that out inside the 1 yard line. I'm not sure that this is going to stand as a touchdown. That's a good effort right there, making the hit as he goes airborne by Donald Booker to reroute him just enough where he cannot keep the ball inside the pylon before he's out of bounds, before the ball goes out of bounds and his body goes out of bounds.
That's a very difficult one to call. It's the 4th review we've had.
And they've all been very, very tough. They haven't been clear cut.
Yeah, there hasn't been one yet where you say, all right, I can tell it's that for sure. Take a look behind here one more time, see if...
And remember, the official that signals touchdown is on the goal line, back by the crowd. He's back this way, the official. He's not behind it where we're taking a look from behind. Depth perception from behind is tough. I mean, down the goal line is tough. It's just a tough angle to see unless you're right on top of it. And the official signal touchdown. Let's see if they grant that touchdown or if they overturn it and say Booker made a hit on him. He was routed out of the field to play before he got the ball inside the pylon.
Murray, who suffered through some tough injuries, had a pretty solid.
After further review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
They give him a touchdown.
Marco Murray with a TD. And it's 9-0 Oklahoma and the Sooners for the PAT here.
When you leave the field to play inbounds, it doesn't matter where your body comes out of bounds. It's where the ball crosses the pylon. You have that, the goal line goes to infinity. And the pylon, as long as you get it inside of it, in their opinion, touchdown, Oklahoma takes a 2-score lead.
O'Hara, 3 of 3 in PATs, and this one is good. So Oklahoma, the big play to set up the touchdown by Murray. And when we come back, Darren Horton in our College Football Saturday studio.
Coming up on the Geico Halftime Show, the Mountain West champions looking to polish off their remarkable season. Perfection on the line for TCU. All the critical highlights coming your way on the Geico Halftime Show. Let's get you back to Bill Land, Dave Lapham, and Jim Knox. Guys?
Thanks, Darren. Look at Sam Bradford looking on as his club up 10-0 here. And before the game, Bradford mixing with everybody, and it seems like every time you look on that sideline, you see another guy with a cast or a brace or whatever, isn't it?
It is amazing, but his presence still means something.
A bunch.
Every single teammate respects everything Sam Bradford's about.
The kick comes to Parrish, and at the 20, not backwards, at the 15, and he is brought down. A flag was thrown way back on the other 30. See what that is all about.
Extracurricular going on and getting right involved is Tom Walker saying, let's just play ball, guys.
A 3-yard return.
They've done a good job limiting Paris Cox because he is a factor in the return game big time. Took one back against Colorado for a touchdown. That was huge, a non-scripted touchdown.
Offsides, kicking team number 22. 5-yard penalty for the previous spot and re-kick.
Wow. We're going to burn the tape from this game.
Oh.
Nobody's going to want to look at it again.
And watch line judge David Oliver right here as he goes airborne. Here he's starting to signal touchdown, but here he is. Watch how he signals. Initially, he's going to spot the ball. Okay, it's out of bounds right here. No, it's a touchdown. So he wasn't sure exactly what he was going to do, but he ended up making the call, and they decided after replay that the call was going to stand. That's a tough call to make, and he was thinking, where is he? Where is he? Oh, he's in the end zone, touchdown.
I don't want that job.
Tough job.
Oh, man, especially today. If there's a tight call, it'll find you. So Matthew Moreland out of Tulsa will get ready to tee it up again here from the 25. And on the re-kick, that penalty. And again, Cox the deepest of the two. Thomas also back. And Cox will get a shot here from the 8. 20. Oklahoma, good containment there against Parrish Cox as the tackle is made. And how about our quarterbacks today and how they are faring with Landry Jones and Zach Robinson. Robinson 4 of 8 for 11 yards. And Landry Jones, 117. He had, what, over 50 on that 1-2 Royals, though.
And the problem that Landry Jones has had is ball security. He's put the ball on the ground a couple of times. He has to be more secure with the ball, particularly in pocket.
12 yards on the return, and it sets up the Cowboys, who have been shut out thus far. 1st and 10 from the Oklahoma State 22. The draw, and up the middle as Kendall Hunter is stopped near the 26-yard line.
Bill, one thing that Brent Venables said, every great defense in Oklahoma has had a hiccup game and recovered.
Robinson, broken play, and he tries to stay away from being broken.
Yeah.
Taking care of that shoulder as Beal makes the stop.
And he's talking to Kendall Hunter about it as they come back to the line of scrimmage. Kendall Hunter checks out. There's a little bit of an assignment problem there, a miscommunication between Kendall Hunter and Zach Robinson. Looks like Kendall Hunter is the one that made the error. Zach Robinson tried to make the best out of a bad situation. And all the great defenses that Oklahoma has had, they've had one hiccup game and then they've rebounded, rectified it, and come back with an amazing performance the following week. Well, Oklahoma had a bad performance down at Texas Tech, and so far today, they're making restitution.
3rd and 9 for Robinson and the Pokes. This one is complete. All over, is Franks as Marcus Connor, the receiver. Yeah, I think for Oklahoma, the whole thing was mental, right? As far as how are they going to be ready to play? They've shown that from the get-go, because even though they're beaten up and battered, their defense is still outstanding.
Right. Oh, they were humbled last week. They were humbled and they were embarrassed. And Brent Venables said the players understood it. You know, we all said everybody was a part of this problem that happened down at Texas Tech, and let's fix things where they have so far.
Sharp boots away the punt. Broyles from the 18, trying to circle. And he is ridden out of bounds near the 30-yard line. We're watching Bedlam football from the Big 12. Oklahoma and Oklahoma State Sooners lead it 10-0. Bedlam football in Norman, Oklahoma State trailing Oklahoma 10-0. This great rivalry has made an impact on the coaches. Here's Bob Stoops with the discussion.
In-state rivalries are always exciting and challenging, but it's even more so probably in our situation with Oklahoma State, in that you're in the same division, in the same conference. So, you know, there's all the, you know, those games leading up to Big 12 championships, and you know, and again, being in the same division here in the state makes it even a more exciting and bigger rivalry.
And the Sooners have the huge edge, 80-16-7 in the rivalry, 37-8-2 here. They've won the last 6 overall and have the lead here today. Football in the possession of OU, 1st and 10 from the 27. Chris Brown, nice gap, and Brown rambles to out near the 38.5-yard line before he is brought down.
Chris Brown, Mr. Dependability, Mr. Reliability. He gets north and south in a hurry. Nice job by the offensive line, sustaining blocks. And tell you who's looking pretty good on the right, at the right tackle spot, Eric Mensick, doing a nice job out there.
1st and 10 at the 38. Brown again. Brought at the 40. We'll send it down to Jim Knox after the tackle by Miller.
All right, Bill, you know, you talked about this Oklahoma defense. The defensive line just came to the bench. Bob Stoops came over there. Keep the energy up. You guys are doing great. You got Austin English, Alfred for the season with a knee injury, and then every time this defense comes to the sidelines, look at this crowd. They basically give him a standing ovation. Outstanding job so far today.
I thought that was for you, Knox.
Yeah. Man, they have strangled Oklahoma State's offense, though, haven't they?
Boy, they have.
Smothered.
And their Oklahoma offense is starting to respond as this one is complete to Broyles. The first 4 possessions, OU had 11 plays, -7 yards. And then the last 2 possessions prior to this one, 11 plays, 129 yards.
And they got a red zone touchdown finally. You know, they had some issues in the red zone, finalizing drives. Oklahoma possessions.
3rd and 8 from the 40 for Landry Jones and crew. He is incomplete. Well, we'll give you a better idea of how the possessions have gone for Oklahoma so far today, as the Sooners have a 10-0 lead.
Well, here's what you're talking about. You know, you have a situation where you got negative yardage going. You got a fumble, you got a punt, missed a field goal. Then the last couple of possessions, 10 points on the board, 11 plays, 129 yards.
This drive stalls as Tressway comes on to punt. On a 4th and 8 from the 40, and Oklahoma State closing in, but doesn't come near it. There's Cox with a fair catch. Boy, difficult. He makes the grab at the 12. Yeah, win is certainly a factor in the kicking passer. A 48-yard punt for Tressway came in averaging 43.9.
Look at the flag snapping up there. You get the ball up, punting the football, kickoffs, field goals, things of that nature. It's gonna be a factor. You have to put it in the equation.
Way has averaged 61 yards per punt today. Wow.
Man, when you flip field position by more than half a football field, you're dictating field position, period.
So 1st and 12, now 1st and 10 from the 12, I should say, for Oklahoma State. And Zach Robinson. The handoff to Toaston. He toasted. Brought down at the 15. Picks up 3 on the play. Brian Jackson, the tackler for Oklahoma. This Cowboy offense coming in, remember, averaging 203 yards per game on the ground, number 1 in the league, 16th in the nation. And they haven't had much at all to get after today.
Well, when you're a play caller and you're backed up as regularly as you have been offensively, it shrinks your playbook. You don't want to do anything too crazy and give a turnover possibility to Oklahoma in a short field for their offense. So it makes you a little bit conservative. You got to get better field position, punch it out of here somehow.
They've only had 61 yards rushing and 20 carries and only 18 yards passing. Oh, Robinson took a shot as the pass is complete.
Got a penalty on that shot, too.
He was rocked by Alexander.
Yeah, and he's going to get 15 yards as a result of it, roughing the quarterback.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, illegal helmet contact. Defense, 15-yard penalty from the end of the catch. First down.
Blackman on the receiving end. So big play for Oklahoma State.
Now this will punch you out of the bad field position we were talking about. There's the shot, helmet-to-helmet shot. And Alexander's saying, I pushed him down with my hands, but the first contact, in the official's opinion, was helmet-to-helmet, protecting Zach Robinson, player safety issue there. Oklahoma has the ball out at their 40-yard line. Now, Mike Gundy can open up his playbook a little bit more.
There's Robinson, 5'9" for 18. And the officials are always going to err in the caution, trying to prevent injury here. Toaston, as he goes to the 45, and Brian Jackson makes the tackle for the Sooners.
And both of them felt that hit. Toaston and Jackson both slow to get up, and also slow to get up is the hard-hitting safety, Carter.
5:25 and counting, first half, winding down. Oklahoma leading 10-0. Cowboys trying to get some type of rhythm going offensively. And it's 2nd and 5 from their own 45. Folks coming in at 9-2, 6-1. As far as conference play. Kendall Hunter. Picked up a couple near the 47-yard line, and Hunter making a 3rd and short for Oklahoma State.
Well, Brent Venables did a great job of dialing up the blitz. Watch coming back from the backside here, off screen right now, but the cornerback blitz. There he is inside. the blocker can't get inside to seal him off. Nothing that Josh Cooper could do.
3rd and 3, and the ball knocked away by Brian Jackson. Big play for Jackson. Remember Jackson with 4 picks coming in. Nearly got that one, but most importantly, stops the OSU drive.
It's just the timing is impeccable. The arrival of the football and the defensive back simultaneous. Brent Venables likes what's going on.
Is there any doubt the coaches have brought the energy today? As they told us, hey players, we'll be ready. And Anium, who's their leading receiver coming in since Des Bryant has been gone, has been shut down today, as has most of the OSU offense. A fair catch, and Oklahoma will get the football back with 4:24 to go in the half after a 41-yard punt by Sharp. Let's take a look at our days in leaderboard here, and the home record since 1999, only Boise State, by the way, a winner last night, with a better home record than Oklahoma. 67-1, OU at 65-2. Texas headed for the Big 12 championship game next week in Dallas, sitting right behind them. The Sooners' only losses that time to TCU and Oklahoma State. As Oklahoma keeps it on the ground to start here, DeMarco Murray, the only touchdown in the game for Murray. Cox and Booker make the tackle, this time for Oklahoma State.
Coaches always tell you, the key to a successful season, defend your home turf. Oklahoma 4-0 at home so far this year. Oklahoma State 3-0 on the road. Something's got to give today. Oklahoma's undefeated at home. State's undefeated visiting as the visiting team.
Oklahoma State coming in with that 9-2 record. They've already clinched second in the Big 12 South. And more importantly for them, they feel the win here would give them a great shape for a BCS bid. Possibly the Fiesta Bowl, as Levine is right there on that play.
And Patrick Levine, linebacker that is outstanding in pass coverage. 5 interceptions, 11th in the nation, but tied for the most as a linebacker. Pretty impressive. 8 career interceptions. He's taken 2 back for touchdowns. Big playmaker.
3rd and 8 for the Sooners now. From the 16-yard line. Jones, empty backfield. Steps up. Oh, intended for Broyles, but in the secondary, that was Thomas, Johnny Thomas, the sophomore from Texas City, Texas, making the play.
And it was an outstanding play. Tremendous timing by Johnny Thomas. I mean, goes airborne and swats that thing right to the ground. Couldn't get it over safety in front of corner. Good coverage down the football field. Bill Young once again mixing it up. Sometimes he'll bring pressure. Sometimes he'll only bring 3 and drop 8 into coverage. He's got Landry Jones a little bit confused.
And Way gets off the kick. Now the flag is thrown.
Early start, yeah.
Prior snap, false start, offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
So Oklahoma State here, Dave, is as gloomy as it might appear for the Cowboys because they at least moved it on the last possession. They get out of this thing defensively. Now they get the penalty. They got an opportunity with 3:38 to go to get great field position. They get a touchdown going in. They would feel great to be within 3, wouldn't they?
Or even a field goal and make it a 1-score game.
Yeah.
You go into the locker room in a 1-score game situation. The way the offense has been stifled and stymied, you do feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, that's easier said than done as Way boots this one out of the end zone, and he got it all. Cox, the 35, and brought down near the 38-yard line. I'll remind you, coming up later, college football Saturday doubleheader. First of all, Baylor will look to take on Taylor Potts at Texas Tech. Big 12 battle played at the Dallas Cowboys' new stadium in Arlington, Texas. And then UCLA, USC, another huge rivalry for the Pac-10. The crosstown showdown going on there.
And the Big 12 South, Texas obviously ran the table. Oklahoma State guaranteed a second place finish in the Big 12 South no matter what happens today. Oklahoma trying to finish 5-3 in conference, 7-5 overall.
Fresh Way must have heard me as he stuffed that 60-yard punt down the throat of Oklahoma State.
He has blasted it today.
The Cowboys operate from their 37. And go to work. Plenty of time, and they also still have all 3 of their timeouts remaining. As Connor on the receiving end there, and picks up 3. It'll be 2nd down and 7.
You know, in rivalry games like this, turnovers, field position become big, and has been big so far in this football game. Turnovers have been an issue, and Oklahoma State has lost the battle of field position in this first half war so far.
From their own 40, the Cowboys. Robinson steps out to throw, and on the sideline, out of bounds on this play. And OSU, how tough has it been to go against this Oklahoma defense?
Man, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 straight possessions, 8 straight punts. The most plays they ran, 6 snaps for 30 yards. Wow, that's Oklahoma Sooner defense at its best. I mean, they're in the top 15 in the nation defensively in about 12 categories.
6 first downs on the day for Oklahoma State. 99 total yards on 35 plays for 2.8 per play against a Sooner defense that, yeah, they had a hiccup last week, but they have come ready. And a timeout by the Pokes.
First charge of the half. 30 seconds.
And 2 more timeouts remaining. Oklahoma State last year lost in Bedlam 61-41 as Oklahoma just outscored them like they did everybody in that record-setting year for the Sooners. And Oklahoma State immediately made a move to get better defensively.
Yeah, there's no doubt they hired Bill Young, highly respected. He changed the culture of the Cowboy defense totally. They appear on the cover of Sports Illustrated, their preseason AP Top 10 for the first time. They have a 14-point win over 13th ranked Georgia, 10-point loss to then unranked Houston, who is pretty good though. Kendall Hunter injures the ankle, still not 100% as we know. Des Bryant under NCAA investigation, final ruling ineligible. Rest of the season, the Cowboys, their own worst enemy against the Longhorns. They lose by 27 points. Zach Robinson injures his shoulder against Texas Tech, and he misses the Colorado game. But third-string quarterback Brandon Whedon rescues the number 12 Cowboys against the Buffaloes. And if they get a win today, that would be a possible BCS bowl slot awaiting the Cowboys. And what a turnaround it has been for Mike Gundy and crew.
Huge 3rd and 7 for the Pokes with 3:08 on. Officials waving it off before they get underway.
Early start.
Timeout.
Oh, another time.
Oklahoma. First charge of the half. 30 seconds.
So the Sooners obviously saw something they didn't like, and they quickly called a timeout.
This has been the most non-rhythmic game I think I've ever seen. Nobody can get into a flow.
You know, Oklahoma State, Dave, you take a look, a huge build-up for the Georgia game. Georgia ranked in the top 15, the grand opening of Boone Pickens Stadium. They get that one done.
Right.
Stub their toe against Houston, who people didn't know how good Case Keenum and the Houston Cougars were. Then they get on a bit of a roll. The next big challenge was Texas. They had them on Halloween in Stillwater. They were humbled. Turnovers the key there. And now another big game for Mike Gundy and OSU.
And I think, you know, you look at the run they made, Des Bryant, that suspension, the injury to Kendall Hunter, and let's look at Oklahoma. You know, the one thing that jumps out at me as I look at this, Oklahoma has not lost 2 in a row all season. Even though they're just a game over 500, they have not lost 2 in a row. So to me, going down to Texas Tech and laying an egg did not bode well for Oklahoma State. And Oklahoma has come out here and making amends and restitution for what happened down there in Lubbock. But Oklahoma State, they were able to withstand the injury suspensions because of all the seniors that were playing.
Now after the timeouts, 3rd and 7. Robinson got a little room as he rolls out, and it is complete. Let's see where they spot the football. Cooper, the receiver.
Just short of the sticks, it looks like.
Yeah, I think they're going to have a 4th and short.
Let's take a look. When he has possession, does he catches the football? Now he steps out. He has the football, receives the football, steps out of bounds, the official right on top of it, and marks it where he steps out with the left foot. Wasn't quite aware of where the chains were. Would have been easy for him to generate this extra foot that he needed to generate, but did not know exactly where he was in the sideline.
And he recognized that Robinson was running out of room, so he kept coming back to the football, knowing he had to make a play. But I think you're right. Then he didn't realize, all right, where am I? And as he tried to turn up, I could see is just a little bit short.
I think he thought that his route had taken him past the chains and he was okay just to dip out of bounds at that point, and that wasn't the case.
All right, for the head coach, Your ball clubs down to your big rival. It's 3 minutes to go in the half. 10-0, fourth, and you see it, less than one. You give up the football here. Oklahoma's had it going pretty good. We're going, we got to make it. We've got to get something positive going. So Robinson. Crowd roaring here. Still waiting for the signal for Zach Robinson.
You know, Bill, this play, this fourth down snap, they're going to run all the clock they can.
Yeah.
They shouldn't even have this opportunity because you can't run out of bounds on your own volition, be the first receiver to step back in the field to play and make the catch.
Yeah,
Watch Josh Cooper as he runs the route. Cooper is drifting. Watch the left foot, out of bounds. He steps out of bounds, and he can't step out of bounds and then be the first receiver to come back in the field to play and touch it. He stepped out on his own volition. So this fourth, they took the delay game. They're going to punt it away. It was inconsequential anyway.
Yeah, they just decided to kill some clock and then go ahead and punt it away. No intention of going for it here. As this one bounces out of bounds, and Oklahoma's going to have about 79 yards to go. Now let's join Jim Knox for our free creditreport.com sideline report.
All right, thank you, Bill. Country recording artist Toby Keith, the mainstay on the Oklahoma Sooners sideline. Big Sooner fan, but you will never miss a Bedlam game.
I planned my tour around it. I did a big tour in Europe for last month, so I'd be here for this game, but just got back.
You got to be pleased the way your Sooners are playing right now, considering all the injuries.
How good's the defense, huh? I mean, yeah. 10 or 11 major injuries this year, but this defense is phenomenal. It's one of the best I've seen. Maybe Stoop's best defense, huh?
I agree. Appreciate it. Thanks for the time, Toby. Bill?
Man, how about it? Toby Keith sold out. Every show in Europe, he sold it out. He's hot as a firecracker.
Looks his schedule around Oklahoma football. You got to love that as giving them great support. Murray on the carry. And now we talk, Dave, here becomes a pretty big possession, maybe for OSU's defense, that you got to answer the call one more time, right? I mean, otherwise you go in, Oklahoma punches one in here with 1:48 to go.
Oklahoma State's got to buckle up, definitely.
Sooners got a chance to really establish something here. They have 2 timeouts remaining. Oklahoma second down and 2.
Oklahoma State's defense went on the field a lot, Bill.
Murray has the first down. Goes to the 34. And Booker making the tackle. Oklahoma maybe in that point of, all right, we get a play or two, then we see if we want to go ahead and get in our hurry up, huh?
Yeah, and really Oklahoma State's defense, their offense is punted every single possession. That's discouraging.
Murray again the ball carrier. Booker again the tackler for Oklahoma State.
He's slow to get up. He's grabbing that right knee. That's not good.
Leading tackler with 80 tackles coming in, and Booker down.
He got rung a little bit in the first quarter. He was a little dizzy as he went off the field. This time it looks like a right knee injury, though.
5 tackles today, 1 for loss for Booker, as he is a playmaker, the senior from Houston, Texas, out of Navarro Junior College.
That's not good when you take the helmet off and you're grimacing and covering your face up. Obviously in some significant pain as he tries to plant and come back. Oh, he just gets bent over. That right knee just gets bent over as he tries to plant. Watch the right leg, 44 white jersey. Ooh, look at that right knee just gets hyperextended, and a couple of bodies fall over on the top of him. Your knee's not designed to go that way, and right now Booker is feeling worse for wear there.
And the Cowboys, who've had their own share of injuries, but defensively for the most part, they've been in pretty good shape as far as injuries go.
Yeah, they started 16 different players on the defensive side of the football, 20 different players on the offensive side. They have lost a couple of defensive starters.
Now, as they tend to him, let's take time for our Keystone Light, always smooth moment. And it's DeMarco Murray with the only touchdown of the game that
air
ruled a touchdown and reviewed forever.
Air traffic control, yep, that's a nice landing right there. A safe landing, ruled touchdown, good ball inside pylon. That is smooth.
Keystone Light, always smooth moment of the game. Booker up being helped off here, and hopefully it's not as bad as it looked, because as you mentioned, it's not the way the knee is supposed to be worked.
No.
It'll be a 2nd down and 9 with 1:06 to go now for Oklahoma. And the ball is marked on the 35-yard line of the Sooners, and they have 2 timeouts remaining.
And Bill Young, defensive coordinator, calling a fine game for the Cowboys once again. And Oklahoma's starting to get to the field position where they can take a little bit of a chance in their play calling when they're backed up. Don't want to risk turning it over to the Cowboys, giving their offense a short field and letting them off the hook.
Oklahoma 155 total yards of offense. A 2nd and 9. Henry Jones with play action. Got time and got a receiver complete at the 45-yard line as the receptions made by Jazz Reynolds. That one earlier, his 9th reception of the year for the freshman out of Houston Eisenhower. And that'll move it into poke territory. Cowboys 45, the line of scrimmage. Hurry up for the Sooners. Henry Jones going deep here. And incomplete, intended for Brandon Caleb, the junior out of Richmond, Virginia.
Paris Cox is signaling that Caleb pushed off on him a little bit. Paris Cox felt like he was in position to make the interception on the contested catch as he went airborne. He thought he was pushed a little bit. And there he's signaling, oh man, he pushed off. I had that interception.
Stops the clock with 30 seconds to go. 2nd and 10 from the 45. Jones escapes one defender. Across the middle, nearly picked off. Went off of the OU receiver's hand, I believe, and he is down.
Caleb's down. Let's take a look. The blitz comes, picked up decently by the Sooners, and Landry Jones tries to throw back across his body, and Caleb's pushed by Cox as he goes for the football, comes down awkwardly. Looks like his right knee is not doing well. Sometimes if you just land the wrong way, we've seen it in basketball. Guys going up even in layups and pregame warmups come down awkwardly and injure a knee. Caleb goes airborne. All the weight comes down on the knee and buckles. That right knee, and all the weight comes down on that right leg, and the right knee just kind of buckled on him a little bit. They're able to move it around decently, though. Hopefully his doesn't look to be quite as severe as Booker's was. Sometimes you pinch cartilage. I've done that before. And you know, it's a bad feeling. You don't actually tear anything, but boy, when you pinch it, it's not a good feeling either.
Hopefully he'll return. Well, coming up at halftime, we'll be joining Darren Horton for the Geico Halftime Show. Highlights, and of course, we'll also meet 2 of the stars of the new documentary series Replay, fueled by Gatorade. It's debuting Sunday night. Make sure you check that out. I think you're going to find it very interesting. So 23 seconds remain in the half. 3rd and 10 for Oklahoma at the 45. They still need some considerable yardage to get O'Hara into field goal range. And they still have 2 timeouts remaining. So you can still use the entire field. But also remember, they got that breeze in their face. Murray takes it down to the 40. And not going to stop the clock here.
Still in that hurry-up mode, but letting valuable seconds just tick away tells you don't have a whole lot of confidence in the kicking game at this point. Timeout finally called.
On a 4th and 5, so they'll mull it over and say, all right, do we want to try the gigantic field goal attempt or maybe a Hail Mary into the end zone? He's making sure that Oklahoma State has nothing to do with getting the football back regardless of what happens on this play. Don't forget, Dr. Pepper Big 12 Football Championship game is coming up. Nebraska and Texas next Saturday, 7 p.m. Central, Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. Tickets still on sale. Ticketmaster.com, or you can call 800-745-3000. And Nebraska, a little bit of a scare from Colorado, takes care of business. Texas, everybody's saying, watch out. That Texas defense was shown to be vulnerable against A&M. Was that a hiccup, or you think Nebraska can go in there and make a heck of a game up?
Yeah, Nebraska has not put up the points that A&M has at any time during the season. A&M can be schizophrenic. I mean, they can hang a half 100 on people and then go in the tank a little bit. but they have executed. They've had big games, multiple games. Nebraska still hasn't done that yet offensively, but with Sue and Crick inside that front four, they'll always be a factor with that type of defense. Sue's a difference maker in a game.
All right, 4th and 5 with 3 seconds as Landry Jones rolls out in trouble, and he is brought down to end the half. That ends the half with Oklahoma on top 10-0. The Sooners 181 yards of offense. Let's send it down to Jim Knox with Bob Stoops.
All right, thank you, Bill. Coach, you got to be pleased with the way your defense is playing right now. Right now, they're giving up just a total of 105 total yards.
Yeah, the defense has been really solid. We had a couple penalties that gave them some extra yards, but overall, we're playing good defense, run defense and pass defense.
And offensively, with so many injuries, you're able to move the ball, and yet you got a 10-0 lead at half.
The guys are doing a good job. We just have to keep executing. Eric Mensick in there at right tackle is doing an awesome job. So take care of the ball in the second half, and still got to come up with some plays like we have some shots and move the ball.
I appreciate the time. Thank you, Coach. Halftime in Norman, Oklahoma with the score. Oklahoma leading Oklahoma State 10-0. Right now, let's join Darren Horton for the Geico Halftime Show. Darren?
Thank you.
Back in Norman, Oklahoma, we welcome you back to the Geico Halftime Show. Oklahoma leading Oklahoma State at the break 10-0. And hello again, everyone. I am Jim Knox. You know, every athlete has one game they would like to play over. Well, tomorrow night premieres a new documentary series reuniting teammates, giving them the opportunity to replay the game of their lives. Replay, fueled by Gatorade, takes place tomorrow night. Let's take a look.
Welcome to the 87th meeting between the State Liners of Phillipsburg and the Red Rovers of Easton.
A 27-yard field goal attempt. It's blocked. The whistle has blown. This one is over. A sister kisser.
Tie might be worse than a loss. We think we have a score to settle.
Gatorade has chosen to team up with the towns of Phillipsburg, New Jersey, and Easton.
We're inviting the guys from the 93 team to strap on the helmet and the shoulder pads and replay that game to determine the true champion once and for all.
I said to Coach, we're going to kind of come out in sweats and warm up, and he said, no, we go full pads every day. And I'm like, Coach, we're in our 30s. Come on now.
My first thought was, who are the crazies that are going to suit it up and try and play football?
15 years away from the game, you're just not going to be able to get that kind of finesse in a day.
They're going to realize how serious this is. They're going to have to turn it up a notch.
Your eyes are certainly showing concussion.
A lot of people out there saying you can't do it. Let's prove them wrong. 1, 2, 3.
10,000 tickets sold out in 90 minutes.
The field temperature right now is at 100 degrees. They look at your age and they say you can't do it. They didn't look at your heart. They've got to look inside of you. Get your extra up and play the damn game.
These guys are incredibly lucky. I'm envious of these guys.
No matter how old you are, 8 to 80, blind, cripple, or crazy, you're always an athlete.
And two of the stars that will be featured in tomorrow night's season premiere. This is Tim Flynn, who played for the Phillipsburg State Liners, Eric Detweiler, who played for the Easton Red Rovers. 15 years ago, Tim, you guys played this game to a 7-all tie. What was it like when you heard, hey, I got to get back in shape and play 15 years later?
At first, we didn't really believe it, but then Gatorade was committed. Both towns were committed, and, we were just going to get after it then. Hopefully we didn't get hurt or, embarrass ourselves.
And Eric, I tell you what, 15 years changes a lot. You now have a little girl, a wife. What was it like playing in front of your family?
It was really special. It's a great opportunity. I really was excited to play in front of my daughter for the first time and my wife and family. It was a great opportunity.
And Tim, over 15,000 people showed up for this game. Were you surprised?
Not in these two towns, not Easton and Phillipsburg, no. They were like that on Thursday for the same game, so that's what shows up for that game.
And Eric, was there finally closure?
Finally closure, but I bet 30 guys or so are still wanting to play another game.
We won't tell you the outcome, though. We won't tell you the outcome. You'll have to tune in tomorrow night. Appreciate it, guys. Thanks for the time. Bill?
Thank you, Jim. You take a look here at the stats for the first half. You think Dave almost it's first quarter stats.
Really?
This is halftime stats, folks.
Look at the third down numbers. A combined 1 for 17. Oklahoma's converted 1 third down. I'll tell you, the star of the first half, Tress Way, averaged 60 yards, over 60 yards on 4 punts. He had a long of 74, 2 of them inside the 20-yard line. Field position, neither team able to do much offensively at all. Field position, and turnovers are going to decide this football game.
Bailey with the kickoff for Oklahoma State. The Sooners with the lead and get the ball and out of the end zone. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20. There's been a lot of coulda, shoulda, wouldas in this first half.
Yeah, it was a slippery pig. Landry Jones, broken play, tries to take it to the perimeter. Oklahoma State rips it out of there, and that led to almost a virus of dropping the football. Couldn't secure it. That was overruled as a fumble and became an incompletion. Can't get a simple center quarterback exchange. Really have to make sure that your ball security becomes paramount. Get 2 hands on the football. That's going to be a big factor as this game unfolds in this half.
So the Sooners up 10-0 with the football, and Chris Brown on the first down carry goes to the 23-yard line. Let's take a look at some of the leaders statistically from the first half here for the Sooners. Jones 10 of 24, no picks. Murray 6 for 35, and then Ryan Broyles has suspected been the leader in the receiving department.
Yeah, he's gone to Broyles whenever he had to make a big play, and Murray averaging almost 6 yards a carry. He had the vault touchdown rush.
And Brown again at the 25, and our keys to victory here once again for the Sooners.
Well, you know, they wanted to have some early success. They didn't get anything done their first 4 possessions there. Defense bailed them out. 3rd down. They're mere percentage points better. I mean, their defense has been awesome on 3rd down. Offensively, 1 for 8's not going to cut it.
And it's 3rd and 5 here at the 25-yard line. Let's see what Landry Jones and crew will come up with. Redshirt freshman has thrown for 23 touchdowns and 13 interceptions. Breaks a tackle and complete. And that will move the chains at the 34-yard line. Cameron Kenny with a grab. Let's send it down to Jim Knox.
All right, Bill, Mike Gundy said at halftime he's happy the way the defense is playing, but the offense, he needs to find a way to get things cranked up. He also is known for making some big changes at halftime. We'll see here in the second half as far as different offensive plays. We'll see if he has a new scheme.
They better come up with a stop for starters, as Kenny had gotten beyond the secondary and incomplete here. Enjoyed Jim's interview with a couple of the guys from the replay show.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a game they like to replay. Mike Gundy might want to replay this first half.
Yeah, there's no doubt. I think Mike Gundy, he may come out, 2 of his best players are his running backs. How about a little wildcat formation maybe in the second half, and maybe some gadget plays, you know, go for it a little more on 4th down. He's going to fire all bullets out of the chamber because he has 1 more half to stay alive for the Fiesta Bowl.
2nd and 10. And 2 Oklahoma State players nearly picked it off as Martin and also I think Anderson were there as Landry Jones.
Yeah, the old tip drill. Martin tips it. Oh, can I get to it?
Oh, and Anderson.
Can't quite get there. It's just tantalizingly hanging there for Anderson.
Makes it a 3rd and 10. They were successful on the last one at the 34-yard line.
Is Bill Young going to blitz? He's given indications of blitz. Will he fall out of there, or will he come with extras?
Chris Brown, 45, and Brown out near midfield moves the change for Oklahoma. Parrish Cox to the tackle, and a flag is thrown.
That was a great call by Kevin Wilson. Blitz did come from Bill Young. Perfect call against the blitz, draw or screen. Oklahoma runs a screen for a 1st down potentially.
Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 77.
Wow.
15-yard penalty for the spot of the foul. Repeat 3rd down.
Stephen Good.
The story of this game, anytime either team seems to have a little rhythm, there's a penalty, there's something, there's a miscue.
Oh, he grabbed that face mask and hauled him to the sideline. I mean, Stephen Good out in front of the screen pass says, I can't kick you out, so I'll grab you the face mask and pull you out. I mean, no can do there.
So the Sooners move it back from midfield to the 25-yard line. The 2nd down and 19 now. 3rd down and 19. Jones got a man and complete to the 43-yard line. Is it going to be enough for the 1st down to Broyles?
He had it and gave it back. He had the 1st down and tried to lose a little ground to gain more and may have given it back. I think it's 4th down in a little bit. When he retreated to get across the field, he lost some yards. They're going for it.
4th and 1 at the 44. Murray strings it out long enough and dives across the 45-yard line. DeMarco Murray with a first down. Markel Martin making the tackle.
Well, you got to concentrate more on tackling Murray. They're really concentrating on stripping the ball out of there. And watch the strip. You know, okay, you're trying to strip it out. Make sure you take him to the ground. I mean, that's good. Sexton's trying to rip the ball out of there, but loses track of the tackle, and it goes for a first down.
Sooners overcome that penalty and then bring it right back on the ground as Chris Brown motors to the 44 and close to a first down inside Oklahoma State territory. Loosen the stopper for the Cowboys. Opening possession here for Oklahoma to start the second half.
Cowboys were on the field defensively a ton in the first half. They're on it again.
Again, the quick hitter, Brown to the 40. Picks up 4. First down markers brought to you by Overstock.com. Shop for the company that supports college football. Overstock.com, at home with the O.
Oklahoma had the ball to end the first half and get the ball to start the second half. The Oklahoma State defense is going to start to get a little tired. Need to get some offensive support. The offense stay on the field a while.
First and 10. And going to grind it out a bit on this drive. As the Sooners trying to win their 30th consecutive home game. Oklahoma coming in at 6-5, 4-3 in Big 12 play, and they got rid of that bad taste from the Tech game in the first half. Their defense has responded. Now the offense trying to warm it up. And complete again as Jones getting into a rhythm. And this one to Reynolds one more time. McGee, the tackle, moves the chains. First down, Sooners at the 25.
Makeshift offensive line doing a pretty good job in this drive. Both run blocking and in pass protection. A lot of injuries up front. A lot of new guys playing next to each other.
Brown, the Broyle slips and falls. Trying to get him out on the perimeter a bit.
You know, you look at the injuries to Oklahoma. They lost 3 offensive linemen for the season. Brody Eldridge, tight end, left guard, and center. They lose Hayburn, the starting center. They lost a lot of bodies up front.
And Trent Williams, before the game today, couldn't go. As this one is complete to James Hanna, the sophomore from Paramount, Texas. And another flag is thrown.
Personal foul.
Anderson.
Roughing the passer. Defense number 97. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
That's on Price.
Going to protect the quarterback for sure. Here comes the free run at him late. The ball's out, lowers the head, and basically spears him. Late hit. Watch Bensick, the tight end, playing offensive tackle. Nice job of locking out. That's an excellent job. Good pass protection right there with the long arms. This kid is a tight end, 6'6", 265-pound tight end that took off his 88 jersey, put on his 69 jersey, and has been playing the right tackle for just about the entire game. Doing a nice job of it. There's a team guy right there at the right tackle spot.
Well, they have shuffled and moved people around and plugged people in, walk-ons, you name it. And that line getting a little rhythm itself here. First and goal to go after the penalty at the 9-yard line of Oklahoma State. Sooners with a 10-0 lead, trying to add to it, and nothing doing on this first down carry. Brown is stopped. Swanson Miller leading the way for OSU.
Bob Stoops liking what he's seeing. Offense in the red zone. Trying to, they go up 3 scores here. It'd be tough for Oklahoma State against that defense.
Second and goal from the 9 as Jones relaying the play. Chris Brown got an initial block. Brown, flag is thrown at the 5. Brown pushing inside to the 4, maybe the 3-yard line.
Flags thrown where there's holding generally called, though, and that's what's going to be called against Oklahoma.
Holding, offense number 7, 10-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Marco Murray, it's what you do without the ball in your hands sometimes. You got a block. This time he got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. Let's see, right here on the perimeter, he's working against Sexton right there, and that's the hold that's called.
So Oklahoma, their second penalty on this drive. They had 5 penalties in the first half for 44 yards. But this drive has eaten up, Dave, 6 minutes, 21 seconds. They've had 15 plays and 70 yards. They'll have to earn a few more. Second down and goal from the 19. Murray flips it back, and Janasa makes the tackle on Ryan Broyles.
Let's take a look at big old number 74, Simmons, the left guard, playing left guard today. Brian Simmons is born with a club foot, and a lot of colleges backed off on him. Bob Stoops said this kid can play football. That's amazing to play at a high-level Division I college football, born with a club foot and overcoming that adversity.
Quite a young man there. And the pass is complete. And to the 5, down to the 2-yard line, Cameron Kenny. As Kenny tugging for extra yards before Andre Sexton stops him.
We've got an injured Cowboy. Officials timeout right there. It looks like it's Levine, yeah. They've lost, if he's injured severely, their linebacker core has taken some hits. In the first half, looked like a knee injury was going to make Donald Booker's presence suspect.
We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with Oklahoma knocking on the door again. Big 12 College Football Saturday is brought to you by Geico, where 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By American Airlines, we know why you fly. We're American Airlines. And the First Down Marker is brought to you by Overstock.com. Save up to 70% off brand names every day at Overstock.com. Overstock.com, at home with the O. All right, the 18th play of the drive is coming up. This is the longest drive of the season for Oklahoma. You know, last week they were on the other end. Texas Tech, known for quick scoring, had play scoring drives, I should say, of 11 and 18 and 14 plays. Oklahoma got it going here, and on a 4th and goal from the 2, they're going to elect for the field goal. So it would appear. There's O'Hara from the 19, and this one is good. Patrick O'Hara gets his second score of the day, at a 24-yarder earlier, and the Sooners, that staunch defense, leading it 13-0. 13-0 Oklahoma on the field goal. You're looking at Patrick Levine. So going through the symptoms for concussion to make sure he's okay. Here's the play, Dave.
Oh, here's the block. There's the block right there. Murray gets the hit on Levine, and it's totally legal. I mean, there's nothing illegal about it. It's a violent sport, and that kind of scrambled him a little bit upstairs, and they want to make sure that he can function, he's okay, put him back out in the football field. They look and see if your pupils are dilated and if you can follow the finger.
Our days in leaders and Sexton, active players with career starts for OSU. Look at that. That's why they came into this game with so much confidence, because basically healthy, a lot of experience. They're not going to panic, but they've got to get something going offensively as this kick will come back out to the 20. Let's go down to Jim Knox.
Okay, Patrick Levine, I just walked by him, and as you guys said, they're still checking him out. He took a really tough shot on the field. He wants to go back in, guys, but right now, I don't even think he knows he's in Oklahoma. Meanwhile, Donald Booker, their other fine linebacker, he's playing with a bum knee right now. He dinged that up a couple of series ago right before half.
Yeah, they're starting to get thin in the ranks, Knox. You get your pads anchored, baby. Play a little linebacker for the Cowboys. Bill Young likes you. Knox will run to the football for you.
So the Pokes, their first possession second half after 6 minutes and 41 seconds of OU having the ball and getting a field goal. This one is complete and out of bounds. Our Geico eyes on for the second half today as Antietam getting that reception. Zach Robinson for 1 half. Wow.
I mean, Oklahoma defense at its finest. They have absolutely controlled Zach Robinson, not been able to get any big plays established with his feet or his throwing arm to date.
The Oklahoma State career total offense leader, 10,000 plus yards, career passing leader with 8,155 coming in, and it's not on one man, but that Oklahoma defense has shut down Oklahoma State, and nothing doing here on the second and short call as Austin Box makes the tackle. Let's revisit the Oklahoma State keys.
Well, they wanted to play with the lead was a big thing, Oklahoma State, and they didn't get that done, obviously. They haven't scored a point. 9 possessions, 9 punts. That's not getting it done. And then balance. They haven't really been able to do all that much on the ground or in the air. It's not ridiculously unbalanced. It's just very unproductive. You got to tip your cap to the defense for the Sooners.
Pardon me, Dave. Oklahoma State 0 of 9 in third down conversions in the first half. It's 3rd and 4 here. Zach Robinson going to keep the football. Robinson diving for it, pushing forward. And where do they spot it?
Just short, it looks like.
Yeah.
4th down. Now, you're almost in a situation where you have to start going for it. I know it's awful short field right now, but it's 4th down in the Scotia. I think they are going to go for it. You know, how many more possessions you're going to get? You're already down 2 scores. You're down 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points from taking a lead. At some point in time, you're going to have to hold on to the football and go on a drive. But if you don't make it, awfully short field for the Sooners.
Yeah. Let's see what they do here.
May just try to make them jump a little bit. Get them to jump offside. They call a timeout to take it over.
Oklahoma State.
Tells me how important Mike Gundy feels this call is. That, hey, we've got to think this one over to make sure we do the right thing. We'll be right back, see what they come up with. 13-0 Oklahoma over Oklahoma State. One of the things we're going to do today is take a look at some of the Big 12 honor roll for 2009. And in the case of Ryan Broyles, certainly a category of emerging star, Dave.
No question about it. 12 touchdown receptions on the season, tied for 3rd most in the country, and they all came from Landry Jones. And he can catch them from all over the field. He's great with yards after catch. He's explosive, can take hits and finalize. He can attack every area of the football field, and he's also a good return man, as we've seen today. He's been a big factor, big playmaker for the Sooners.
8 receptions for 95 yards to live up to that billing. Right now, the pressure is on Oklahoma State. They decide to punt after calling a timeout on a 4th and 1. And they get a dandy this time. Here comes Broyles, as he is tackled at the 16-yard line after the kick by Quinn Sharp of 61 yards, and then a 7-yard return for Broyles. And I guess Mike Gundy going, all right, there's still 6+ to go in the 3rd quarter.
Right.
Let's kick him away. It's not, if we don't get it there, in a sense, you're almost giving Oklahoma something, huh?
Yeah, you're giving them something, but they went on an 18-play drive. You went 3 and out. Your defense is back out in the football field. But, you know, it's more than understandable. I don't think I would have gone for it either, the way Oklahoma's defense is playing. The percentages, Mike Leach would have gone for it, though.
There would have been hesitation. And their defense answers here with Brown. But you got to be praying that your defense can get that 3 and out,
right,
so you can get it back with some field position and also hopefully rest your defense.
Well, the first thing that happened was his punter bailed the decision out with a boomer and pinned him back inside the 20-yard line. He flipped field position with that Howard's right leg. Let's see if the defense can hold up their end of the bargain and get a short field, better field position for Oklahoma State.
2nd and 8 for Landry Jones. Brown out to the 23-yard line. Jones was 17 of 33 for 203 yards in passing so far. They're choosing the ground game right now.
Bill Young there, the defensive coordinator, who has done such a spectacular job. I mean, Oklahoma State, one of 8 teams, 8 defenses that have not given up 100-yard rushing this season, only given up 82 yards a game.
3rd and 3. Brown needs 3 and does not get it. So the Cowboy defense does answer. And by the way, Patrick Levine passed that test because he was back in. There he is.
Booker's playing, Levine's playing, these guys are playing hurt. It's Bedlam, baby, and there's no more games until the bowl game. Plenty of time to recover. Booker's starting to strip some tape off, though. That knee, obviously not responding as well as he had hoped.
60.2 is the average for Tressway in the punting game today. Let's see what he does here on a 4th and 3.
Crushed it.
Oh, wow. High kick. It's an Oklahoma State bounce. Just the same. No return, the big thing, eliminating big plays, and stops it at the 27-yard line. A 51-yarder, press way. Hey, we want to send congratulations to the Oklahoma State men's cross-country team, Coach Dave Smith, for winning the NCAA men's team championship. And congratulations to the Texas Tech women for their 4th place finish. Over the years, Colorado has dominated in the Big 12 in both men and women's, as well as some national championships. Oklahoma State get in the mix and a tip of the cap to the Cowboys.
Well, you can understand why Colorado training in that rarefied air.
Yeah.
You know, it gives them a little bit of an advantage from a training standpoint, but good job by the Cowboys.
1st and 10 at the 27. Zach Robinson going up the field, and it's coming back at him. The pickoff and the INT. Nelson inside the 15 and out of bounds, and this crowd roaring now. Third interception of the year for Jonathan Nelson.
And Zach Robinson, this one floats on him down the middle of the football field. The one thing you don't want to do is throw it high. This ball sails on him a little bit. I don't think you ever really saw Nelson. No, didn't really put the zip on it. Nelson just undercut the receiver. He was going to basically, the receiver was throwing to him was going to underthrow, not overthrow. And Nelson cut in front of it and almost took it to the house.
36-yard return for Nelson, the junior out of Mansfield, Texas. 3rd straight game he's had a pick. And Oklahoma would like to punch it in on the ground as DeMarco Murray gets the carry. Swanson Miller with the tackle on Murray, the junior from Las Vegas. He's got a touchdown today. The only TD of the game, in fact. And now that clock ticking in the 3rd quarter with 3:55, and Oklahoma on to take advantage of the turnover, really turn up the heat on the Cowboys. 2nd and 9 from the 12. Murray, count it, touchdown Sooners.
What a tremendous job up front by the makeshift offensive line. They got the backside sealed off, gave Murray a cutback lane. Zach Robinson bitterly disappointed that his turnover ended up in points. Watch the backside, watch the lane that's created. You get somebody on the ground, he can't make a tackle, cut him in half. The block, excellent. Lane for Murray to take advantage of. You have to stay on your feet. Once you hit the ground as a defensive lineman, you can't tackle anybody.
The point after for Harry is good. And the Sooners do take advantage of the turnover. And Oklahoma 20-0. DeMarco Murray, his 44th career touchdown. Murray with a 2nd TD of the day. The Sooners bump it to 20 to zip. Matthew Moreland to boot it away. Cox from the 5, the 20. And Parrish Cox tackled shy of the 30-yard line. Let's check in with Darren Horton at a game break.
Bill, these rivalry games can be tricky. Number 25, Ole Miss, Jevin Sneed, picked off by Mississippi State's Corey Broomfield. Nice move here to get by Sneed. 74 yards for the touchdown, and the Golden Egg may be heading back to Starkville. 21-27. Bill?
Never know. Never know.
How about them dogs, says Mississippi State. I'm going to put it to Ole Miss. Phillips HD game break. Meanwhile, Oklahoma State got its work cut out for them now. As the Cowboys, who came in averaging just under 33 points a game, 20th in the nation, 0 on the scoreboard. Oklahoma's defense has been stout to the tune of limiting them to 114 yards of offense. And it's a 2nd and 9 now from their own 29.
Well, the defense for Oklahoma's played with focus. They played with intelligence, poise, emotion. Every intangible they brought to the field today. They didn't bring it to Lubbock, but they have it here in Norman.
Zach Robinson with the handoff, and Kendall Hunter is tripped up by Jeremy Beal. Let's check in with Jim Knox.
All right, meanwhile, guys, you look at the Oklahoma State defensive line. They are really tired. You know, Oklahoma State defense has been on in the second half a good while. Bill Young, the defensive coordinator, came over to him and said, keep fighting, guys, keep fighting. We're still in it.
Yeah, and What they need is a little bit of that offense to come up with something just to excite the team in general and give them a reason to think, you know what? They make a big play, they're going to score all right. We're back in it, we're clicking.
They need a third down conversion.
Yeah, how about that for starters?
They didn't have one in the first half. I don't think they've got one yet. I mean, the defense has been on the field the whole game.
3rd and 6, and Jackson was looking for the pick 6 as Brian Jackson jumped that route.
It's very discouraging to a defensive football team when the old cha-cha's going 1-2-3 punt, 1-2-3 punt. Great route recognition, break on the football. Brian Jackson's got long arms, very talented cornerback, can really run. They put him one-on-one on Jordan Shipley, on Des Briscoe. Without any help, he rose to the occasion.
Intended for Fuchs, and now Sharp has got to be the MVP for OSU with the punting. And Broyles spinning and breaking 130, still on his feet. Ryan Broyles, a sensational return out to the 38-yard line. That sets up time for the Lexus playbook.
Well, what you will try to do on play action is to get the linebackers to bite. You want them to bite. Well, you haven't run the football very well at all, so what do? They drop immediately. They don't respect the run at all. Watch them drop, and everybody reads pass right away. And the interception is consummated by Jonathan Nelson. Play action fake only works well when you're running the football effectively. The play action fake that time in the Lexus playbook had no impact on the Oklahoma defense whatsoever.
Come back to the live action. They call another sideline warning against Oklahoma. And 1st and 10 from the 33 now for the Sooners. 10-0 at the half. They've doubled it here in the 3rd quarter. Play action. Henry Jones got all day, coming back to receiving the football, but unable to hang on that time. Broyles.
Broyles is having himself an all-purpose day. He's closing in on 100 yards receiving. You add in his return yards, he's well over that 100-yard mark in terms of all-purpose total yards. A big factor all year long, and Bill Young knew that he was going to be massive for the Sooners. He wanted to put Paris Cox on him, but they put Broyles in the slot a lot, and that's not where Paris Cox lines up. So he hasn't had the favorable matchup.
On the ground, Brown near the 40, and to go back to your point about Broyles, he had 117 yards receiving against Texas Tech and a touchdown. Today is the 6th straight game he's had 7+ catches in a game on a team that he's the marked man. I mean, without Gresham and some of the others that they've lost, everybody knows Broyles is the playmaker, and he's still making plays.
But they're smart. They're putting him in the slot. They're motioning him a little bit, and it's hard to at that point. It's hard to bracket him, hard to double him. They know they've got a talent, and he's smart enough to line up in multiple spots and move around.
Total yards today, all-purpose 183 for Broyles. The handoff, and not much doing that time for Oklahoma. And the Sooners appear to kick it away on a 4th down.
Well, right now, the play clock and the game clock are tremendous allies of the Sooners, tremendous enemy of the Cowboys. And Oklahoma is doing a good job of melting the play clock every snap. And the Cowboys have to stay on the field offensively. That's the bottom line. They have to give their defense some kind of support.
Cowboys have been close, but haven't been able to get the block, and he has been spectacular in the kicking game. This went into the end zone, 1st and 10 at the 20. A 62-yarder as we take a look at our DirecTV game summary. And that first line for Oklahoma State just sums it up, Dave.
Sure does. I mean, not one first down on 3rd down conversion. 11 possessions. They punted it away 10 times and thrown an interception. Unbelievable. They have 118 total yards offense. Marco Murray's got a couple of touchdown runs. Landry Jones over the 200-yard mark passing. And his main target, as we talked about, Ryan Broyles has had a nice day himself.
And the time of possession, which was strangely largely OSU at the half, it's now just about even at 22:02 OU, 22:40 for Oklahoma State.
The crazy thing is, not one 3rd down conversion, and they have that kind of time of possession.
And the football dropped here as Robinson put that one, appeared to be on the money. And They're unable to hang on is going to Wilson Human.
Yeah, and Human's got to make this play. It hits him right between the 8 and the 6. And, you know, if you're going to get hit like Jonathan Nelson hit you might as well catch the pig.
You know Nelson's jacked after getting another pick.
Yeah, he's closing on the ball in a heartbeat. He's a heat-seeking missile.
2nd and 10, 13 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
You know, one thing Oklahoma State does so well, Bill, is manipulates with formation. Oklahoma's done a great job of figuring it out.
Robinson, plenty of time.
Receiver fell.
Yep, couldn't connect like Andy on me was trying to get together with. Hubert, the sophomore out of Garland, Texas, and
it's Murphy's Law. Human drops one, and then as trying to separate, he basically gets hauled down to the ground. Anium's looking for some kind of support. He's like, man, I got to be able to run around without a guy tugging me to the turf. No flag.
3rd and 10. Can they convert here with that OU crowd roaring? 7 seconds to go in the quarter. Robinson, they're coming after him. He's just got to unload it. He does with 2 seconds to play as McCoy leading the way. And Zach Robinson, not the way he's wanting to end up in his senior season as far as regular season play.
And Brent Venables smells it. Watch the blitz come from the backside. And Matt Robinson, he's got, Zach Robinson, I should say, has a clock in his head. He knows he's running out of time. He knew the blitz was coming. And just got to throw it away, and still 0 for. Not 1 third down yet in the game. 3rd down conversion.
Sharp, his 12th punt of the day, and another doozy. And Broyles is back at it, the 30, and upended at the 35-yard line. That ends the third quarter.
Oh, they're both hurt.
Hopefully they're all right.
Andrew McGee made the hit, and Broyles took the hit. McGee still down. McGee delivered a blow there. It stunned Broyles, but McGee, the hitter, came out worse for wear than the hitee.
Boy, there's been just a ton of players who have taken serious shots in Bedlam football here today.
Bedlam bruises.
You're watching Big 12 College Football Saturday, presented by Phillips HD. Sooners 20-0 after 3 quarters. Welcome back to Norman. Big 12 College Football Saturday, presented by Phillips HD. Our eHarmony stats through 3 quarters. Oklahoma taking control, 285 yards of offense, just 118 for the Cowboys, and pitching a shutout, 20-0.
And look at the 3rd downs. Oklahoma State hasn't converted one yet for 1st down. Oklahoma only 2 of 13, a combined 2 for 25 in the game. And how about Tress Way showing the way, averaging almost 59 yards per punt. He is leading the way in terms of dictating field position.
So Oklahoma with it 1st and 10 from the 35 as we start the 4th quarter here in Norman. The Sooners trying to get their 7th win and continue the top winning streak in the country at home, 30 in a row. And they've established that ground game here in the 2nd half as we send it down to Jim Knox.
All right, Bill, on the Oklahoma State sidelines, they're looking at Andrew McGee's neck and shoulder after that play just in. And also Zach Robinson came off the field limping. You know, one thing we talked to Coach Stoops about, and he says he wants to make the quarterback uncomfortable. He made him very uncomfortable today. The offensive line right now trying to figure out a way to block somebody. It's been a long day so far for these guys.
Yeah, it's been more than uncomfortable for Robinson. Murray breaking a tackle and puts his head down and moves it to the 47-yard line as Antoine Lucien makes the stop.
Well, this is what Oklahoma wants to do, just what the doctor ordered. Now you got a tired Oklahoma State defense out there. You're knocking people on the ground, getting pancake blocks. Lower your shoulder pads, run behind your pads, finish the runs, and melt the clock. Oklahoma would like nothing more than just pound the football on the Cowboys on the ground, melt the clock, and score points.
1st and 10. And again, Murray picking up 5 or 6. And Oklahoma firmly in control.
And you know, this is something that Oklahoma lost with injuries early in the season. You know, they lost their big boy power package. You know, having Gresham and Eldridge in there.
Stopped at the 48-yard line of Oklahoma State as Sexton makes the tackle on the play.
Oklahoma could go big with Gresham, Eldridge, Clapp. And all those guys start to get hurt. Clapp's got a broken hand. And then Sam Bradford behind at the controls behind center, dictating all of that. And then they could spread it out with Gresham and go to a different look totally without substituting personnel. They lost all that versatility with the injuries. I'll tell you, Oklahoma's held it together pretty well with all the injuries they've had to endure.
Pass is complete on a 3rd and 4 as Cameron Kinney will move the chains. Kinney coming in with 19 catches, 235 yards. He's picked up a couple today.
Nice job timing route. The ball's out of his hand quickly. I mean, Landry Jones did not hold on to that football very long at all. It was like a hot potato. And you're not going to be able to get there. Even if anybody is unblocked up front, you can't get to Landry Jones before he gets that ball out of his hand.
1st and 10 at the 40 of Oklahoma State. And tackled from behind. A loss on the play as Chris Brown, senior from Alexandria, Louisiana, not able to make the turn. First down markers brought to you by Overstock.com. At Overstock.com, our award-winning customer service will make you feel at home with the O.
Not much O today for the Oklahoma State Cowboys. And really, I mean, Bill Young and his troops, Oklahoma before this drive, 2 of 13 on 3rd down themselves. I mean, that's a darn good defensive day, but when your offense is 0 for the game, it's tough.
Yeah, and 2nd and 18 for the Sooners. Landry Jones trying to answer through the air, juggling, but caught by Rattery. And he gets to the 43-yard line of the Cowboys. Trent Rattery out of Weatherford, Oklahoma. There's the total yard story this half, and gives you an idea of how Oklahoma came out of the locker room and dominated, and that hasn't been the story this year. They've had some games where they played pretty well the first half, and then they haven't. It's like they napped at halftime instead of reloaded.
And they played keep away in the 3rd quarter. I mean, they were on the football field, and Oklahoma State never was. I mean, Oklahoma State continued the 1, 2, 3 and out, and Oklahoma put together long, time-consuming, multiple play drives. They had that 15-play drive in there.
Yeah, it was coach's dream as far as take 6:41 off the clock to start the 3rd quarter, get a field goal as they complete this one. Then they got the pick, and that set up Murray for the TD. Right. Thus we sit at 20-0 after a 10-0 halftime score.
You know, you look at this Oklahoma State football team, 9 of the 11 starters defensively are seniors. 4 of the 5 offensive linemen are seniors. The quarterback's a senior. A running back is a senior, Toasting. So you wonder, okay, what happens next year? I mean, they're going to have to basically retool and regroup awfully quickly because a lot of experience, a lot of upperclassmen on this football team.
Patrick O'Hara's hit 2 short ones today. He's going for a 52-yarder. Got a good breeze behind him.
Got to get the elevation, though. Got to get it up.
O'Hara had it blocked. Yeah. His longest was 47, which is the longest for OU. And Oklahoma State gets the block on the play, keeps it at 20-0.
A little jumper up in the back, gets yourself a little penetration. He hit the 7-iron instead of the wedge. Boop! Knocked right to the turf.
Oklahoma. We continue our Big 12 honor roll as this is our final Big 12 telecast of the year. Tonight we'll conclude with Baylor and Texas Tech. Our Big 12 Defensive Player of the Year, how do you not go with a man named Sue?
Yeah, really. And this is a man, all man. He is a game changer inside at the defensive tackle position. McCoy has one in Oklahoma, and Nebraska has one in Sioux. He forces fumble, intercepts the football, makes the big hits. He moves like a linebacker in the defensive tackle's body. He is nothing short of spectacular.
Nebraska's riding Sioux right into the Big 12 championship game against Texas next weekend. This pass is batted down up front. Alexander got the paw on it. Zach Robinson continues his rough afternoon. Speaking of Nebraska, They have already taken the North. They are 6-2, 9-3 overall. Bo Pelini doing a heck of a job there. Kansas State at 6-6, but not bowl eligible.
Right, had a 1AA in there. And, we had the game when Iowa State beat Nebraska 9-7. Nebraska had 8 giveaways and no takes. They were -8, and Bo Pelini got them right back on track, and they finished strong. I mean, that's just an outstanding effort.
Offense, number 72, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Andrew Mitchell with a little flinch.
One of their big wins, of course, was against this Oklahoma team as well. It's another look at it.
Here he is at the right tackle position in a flinch, and heading down the line of scrimmage, pointing to where he was going. But he was a little bit too early. Speaking of not flinching, though, Oklahoma State and Oklahoma both did a good job. Coaches, players, not flinching when they face adversity. Injuries, suspensions, all those kind of things.
On the second down and 15, that OU defense is still like a wall. McCoy pacing them on that play.
McCoy is stout. There's no question about it. Last time Oklahoma State shut out. Back in 2005, October 1st, 34-zip by Colorado. The last Bedlam shutout, 93. 1993, 31-0. This would be the 12th shutout for Oklahoma defensively under the tutelage of Bob Stoops and his staff of Brent Venables and company.
And their amazing home record under Stoops would go to 66-2. Robinson smothered again. The Sooners are revved up. Frank Alexander and McCoy and crew. A big day with 19 seniors honored before the game, and the Oklahoma players have responded, and they smell it with 9:15 to go.
Well, they certainly have rebounded from last week's off performance. And, Zach Robinson, my heart aches for him because this game was so important to him. Coach Mike Gundy, I mean, his football team has battled all year long. They just didn't bring their A game today, and they had to against the defense the caliber of Oklahoma's.
Sharp boots it away again. Another terrific punt. Broyles says, I'm not done. Fields it at the 10. He may not be. The 30 needs a block. Broyles at the 50. Ryan Broyles, is he going to go all the way? The 10. Oh, mama, touchdown Sooners!
Bill, there's nothing sweeter than an unscripted score, and that's what just happened right there. The unconventional, the non-offensive touchdown. It's such a momentum builder for one team and a devastation for the other. And Broyles, I mean, he ran back and forth. He serpentined. He started on one side of the field, ran all the way over to the other, and then cut back again. He must run 150 yards to score that punt return touchdown. He picked up some great blocks along the way. Sometimes you can out-kick your coverage, and Broyles made him pay.
A 67-yard punt, you're right. An 87-yard return from point to point. What an incredible day that Broyles is having. The point after is good. It's 27-0. Look at this.
Oh, he comes all the way from the right side to the left. And now he's going to serpentine back, picks up some blocks. And now he sees golden goalpost and he says, it's mine. Touchdown.
27-0 Oklahoma on the Broyles return. Time for the Lexus playbook as the Sooners have taken control, I guess.
Well, unbelievable. And this punt return is amazing. Watch him. He'll get Oklahoma State out of their lanes, and now he starts to pick up some blocks, and his teammates come back and peel back and get blocks, and then there's no substitute for speed. And he back and forth, left side, right side, back to the right, left side, right side again. I mean, that's just an effort. 87-yard punt return, but he probably ran about 130 yards. Huge, huge play. That's Coffindale's right there.
Fifth longest punt return in OU history. Ties for that. It is the longest OU punt return in Bedlam history of 87 yards as Ryan Broyles with the touchdown and the kickoff. And Cox, OU staying in its lanes, keeping Cox under control, stopped at the 19. We'll send it down to Jim Knox.
All right, Bill, needless to say, just plenty of smiles on the Oklahoma sidelines. You know, guys, just a big sigh of relief down here. Brent Venables is high-fiving everyone as well as Bob Stoops. After last week's frustrating game against Texas Tech, they just letting out their frustrations against Oklahoma State. The sideline theme is just keep making big plays right now.
Well, and you know, Dave, that they're thinking, thank you, Jim, by the way, hey, let's keep this shutout, right? That's the defense mantra now as Brandon Weeden comes on, the sophomore quarterback from Edmond, Oklahoma. Weeden, you might recall, came on in relief of Alex Cate in the Colorado game when Robinson couldn't go, and Weeden bailed him out against the Buffaloes with a nice performance. And former baseball player signed a professional contract.
Yeah, Yankees, wasn't it?
Yeah, and
Alex Cate started the game. He went 0 for 9. They put Weeden in the second half, and he was fantastic.
And he comes out throwing here to Human. Zach Robinson may be done today, as it's been a rough day as he's limping on the sideline, but it does not take anything off of his spectacular career at Oklahoma State University. A guy who really only played 1 year quarterback in high school, and Oklahoma State fortunate to get him, and look what he turned into.
Yeah, he's special, and I think he's gonna have a shot to play in the National Football League. He has a nice rhythm when he's under center. He's almost better throwing the football from under center than he is in the shotgun, and he's got his best football ahead of him because of his lack of experience at quarterback overall.
Weeden's pass is a bit underthrown here, trying to hook up with Enium, and he will take a 3 and out. So it's 4th and 9, and OSU will have to kick it again. And Quinn Sharp is probably thinking, I've done enough to earn my scholarship today. As far as punting is
right.
There he is, back on his 5-yard line, and Broyles sitting at the 40 going, bring it on. Backs up about the 30, made one miss. Broyles got hit hard at the 35 that time. Boy, he's had some day. We'll be right back. Ryan Broyles with 316 all-purpose yards today, and you can imagine he's done it in every stop.
Oh, he certainly has. I mean, averaging 12.5 yards per punt return coming into this football game. His average will improve dramatically now. And he's got a great feel for finding space in coverages. He's very savvy that way. And he's a very, very sure catch of the football. He's always getting his shoulder pads up the football field for yards after catch. This is where he was spectacular today. 87-yard punt return where his teammates hustled downfield, started picking up some blocks, but nothing is a substitute for foot speed, and Broyles has more than Oklahoma State had on the field on that snap.
And Oklahoma back on the ground to start this drive, and Broyles, another note to him, the 316 yards, third best in OU history behind Greg Pruitt in 1971 against Kansas State. He had 374, and Mike Gaddis 317, a yard better than Broyles. That was against Oklahoma State in a Bedlam game back in 1989. So he is chalking up some history, and we still have 6:40 to go in the football game. So we'll see how much they choose to use him here with a 27-0 score. Henry Jones handing off here. Chris Brown. His final day as an Oklahoma Sooner here at OU. Of course, the Sooners will be bowling, and still to be determined, of course. There's been a lot of talk of possibly the Sun Bowl.
Or the Alamo Bowl,
yeah,
potentially. And you know, speaking of 27, that was the 27th return touchdown, special teams touchdown under Bob Stoops' career here, in his career coaching in Oklahoma. 27 of them, 24 blocks, 27 special teams return touchdowns. Unbelievable.
Bob Stoops, who won't see his team win a Big 12 title this year. They've won the last 3 and 6 overall, but it's certainly going to give them a great feeling as they get ready to prepare to go to the bowl season and give those seniors a little oomph, because sometimes when you compete at such a high level, you can understand how a player might let down when all those big goals are not available to them, but they came back today.
Well, sure, and that's the other thing we talked about earlier. 7-5 they're going to end up, but even with a 6-5 record, they did not lose 2 in a row the whole season. That speaks to coaching, and it speaks to the players having, let's move on. Okay, we're not going to let one bad game turn into 2. And they didn't let it happen all season long. They salvaged themselves a nice season.
First and 10 at the 45, and the handoff right up the middle, and Brown again pushing to the 48-yard line.
The other thing that Oklahoma's done so well, Bill, coming into today's game, they had only allowed 16 punt return yards on the season on 13 returns against them. 1.2 yards per return, amongst the best in the nation, obviously. I think it was number 2. So their differential in yards on punt returns in the opposition is almost like 2 first downs. When you have that kind of a differential in field position, it's going to be helpful.
2nd and 7 from the 48. Jones with a handoff. And the second effort on the carry by the running back that time, and the Sooners continue to move the chains as Jordan Calhoun, then Wheeler, Texas Van High School redshirt freshman, who had carried for 175 yards coming in.
Highly recruited, 6 foot, a couple hundred, 220 pounds. Look at the yards after contact. Takes the first hit, keeps motoring. I mean, they have a bunch of players at Oklahoma. We saw in the walkthrough, yesterday's walkthrough, 17 prime recruits. Bob Stoops can recruit as well as anybody in the country. They just reload.
And again on the ground as Calhoun to the 43-yard line. Clock ticking at 3:54 and counting here. We're looking at our Big 12 honor roll. Offensive Player of the Year, and who knows, maybe Heisman. He sure made a statement against Texas A&M. Colt McCoy, the unquestioned man here.
He threw 4 touchdown passes against A&M, and he rushed for 1. He rushed for over 170 yards and threw for over 300. When the game was on the line in terms of him winning the Heisman, he stepped up and put his best performance out there and put the pressure on everybody else. Did he win a Heisman on Thanksgiving night? He might have.
And 44 victories in his career. Calhoun saying, I'm not done, as he rambles down inside the 20, back down to the 14, I believe, as Terrence Anderson makes the tackle or the stop.
Another injured Oklahoma State Cowboy back up at the 38-yard line, but Calhoun is definitely a talent. He was heavily recruited, the #1 running back out of high school in a lot of people's opinion, and another knee injury being looked at.
Calhoun had passed for 803 yards in high school, ran for 1910, so a quarterback, running back, you name it, he could do it all. Our academic all Big 12, including the Oklahoma Sooners, you see that more than just outstanding football players at this university, as they're concerned about the whole of the student athlete. We'll take a brief break with Oklahoma cruising 27-0 here in Bedlam. Big 12 College Football Saturday is presented by Philips HD. The images that move you the most are what we deliver the best. And brought to you in part by eharmony.com. Are you ready to fall in love? And by your local Lexus dealer. Well, the Sooner fans have fallen in love again with their football team after they were jilted last week by their disappointing performance against Texas Tech. They have responded in Bedlam and knocking on the door again. 1st and 10, the ball on the 14 for Landry Jones and company. And here is Calhoun again as he is stopped inside the 15 down to the 13-yard line. Let's take a look at the Oklahoma State players that have been academic all Big 12, and you see those from the first unit as well as the second here. As I don't know,
holding penalty is going to cost Oklahoma, by the way, in the red zone.
And that'll push it back to the 24-yard line for the Sooners, and may just give them another minute or so to march off the clock to try to milk this thing down to where Oklahoma State doesn't even get another possession and keep that shutout preserved. I mean, they might be as much interested in just holding on to the ball as they are scoring, Dave.
No question.
Calhoun, though, you know what he's thinking? I want a touchdown. I want to get in on this party. He had one earlier this season. In fact, he ran 18 times for 94 yards against Texas A&M. His best effort. Bill Young and his defense, they haven't played that poorly.
No.
I mean, the second half's been all OU, but when your offense never gives you a breather,
yeah,
what are you going to do?
It's deceptive. I mean, you know, they played so well on third down. It got out of hand in the second half, but at some point the defense is going to wear down, and finally they did.
Oklahoma State 0-14 in third downs, and they haven't crossed the OU 45.
That's no support.
Calhoun, gang tackle by the Cowboys near the 17-yard line. Get inside the 2-minute mark. Like to thank all of the coaches throughout the Big 12 Conference and the staffs that have helped us out throughout the season, Dave. It's been a lot of fun once again, and a lot of people that make it possible. The cooperation we have with the schools, the coaches, the players, sports information directors certainly make our jobs a whole lot easier.
No question about it. You know, we saw the athletes. They're great athletes. They get it done in this classroom as well. They have time management figured out. I mean, there's nothing better than coming to Big 12 venues and watching a real competitive game. And talking about competitive, Mike Gundy on the left, Cale Gundy on the right. We'll talk about them again after the snap.
Cale, the running backs coach at Oklahoma,
ball's
quarterback, and here comes Oklahoma State on the fumble return, and the Cowboys to the 30, and loose pigskin. Oklahoma's recovered.
Wow.
That will preserve the shutout most likely. On a wild play, and isn't it something that this game started with all kinds of fumbles and mishaps, and it may end with one.
It's poetic justice. There's no question about it. Calhoun, and I'm not sure the ball might have caused that. I mean, the ground may have caused that fumble. That'll probably be reviewed, and that's poetic justice, because that's how this game ended up. But that's a nice job of staying after it, knocking the football out of there. Rattery knocked it out, as well as fell on top of it. That's just a great job by Trent Rattery, and it may be all for naught. I don't know if they're going to take another look at it and say that the ground caused the fumble there. But watch Rattery hustle. Rattery's going to strip it out and recover it. Nice job by the tight end.
Yeah, brought down Jen on the play, and Oklahoma will choose to run it out, and the partisan crowd here in Norman showing their appreciation to the Sooners to come back and continue their domination of Bedlam, their 7th straight win, and overall their 30th consecutive victory at home in impressive style.
And Mike Gundy and his brother Cale, I was talking about that earlier. People, you know, families are divided over. These guys are coaching against each other. They quarterback their respective schools. I mean, Bedlam is big in their family. Their dad comes, their mother won't even come to the game. But Mike Gundy's kids stayed at Uncle Cale's house here in Norman the night before Bedlam. So, I mean, they keep it all in perspective for sure.
Once again, the Oklahoma Sooners, a 27-0 victory. The defense of OU holds Oklahoma State to 109 yards of offense. Wow. And Ryan Broyles, an impressive all-purpose day. Don't forget to join us tonight at 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. Texas Tech meets Baylor at the Dallas Cowboys' new stadium in Arlington. That's followed by Pac-10 action as UCLA meets number 20 USC. Check your local listings. Coming up next, many of you will see the Big 12 postgame show. Now, this is Bill Land for Dave Lapham and Jim Knox. Our entire crew saying so long from Norman. Oklahoma 27, Oklahoma State 0. You've been watching Big 12 College Football Saturday presented by Phillips HD.